quiet thing. I know you guys are good at it. It's cool. You'll see.
Wait, I have to be quiet?
Yes, it's quiet time. All right, here we go. Shh. Everybody ready? Asshats.
Born in 1995.
I think the highway. It was time travel, Jared. We've been over this.
All right. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to, this.
Stuff and things.
Yes, indeed. That kind of thing and associated stuff.
It's like physical therapy, but without the pain and torture, because it's pure pain and torture.
Precisely.
Distilled torture, everybody.
Alrighty.
Not thick enough.
It's soda. What are you gonna do?
All right. Well,
It's gonna get rowdy tonight.
No, there'll be great calm amid the stupid. You'll see. It'll be.
Dear.
Yes, it'll be great. All right. Anyway, yeah. So we've got. We really have no housekeeping to do, so we're not doing that thing. We are, however, going straight.
Wait, didn't you say you had an announcement, and isn't housekeeping for announcements?
Well, I considered it more news.
Yeah, you didn't mention explicitly news.
Except that it's not news. I'm only calling it news because I don't want to put up the stupid picture. So
I want housekeeping.
News.
All right.
I want housekeeping.
All right. You know what? We'll make Tornado happy, and we'll make everybody else happy. Here we go. We'll start with housekeeping.
Yay.
We'll start with housekeeping.
Everyone else.
Here we go. Well, for housekeeping tonight, we have some news there. And now we go to news. The news is, remember that little bell from last week? Yeah, that was me. Apparently there was an actual little bell on the ceiling fan. So, yep. All of my denials and flipping over everything on the desk to see if anything was shaking or vibrating was for naught. So,
What?
Why was there a bell on the ceiling fan?
because it goes there.
Oh,
You're not supposed to ask that kind of question.
Indeed.
There just is a bell on the ceiling fan. Just accept.
There are some questions that just don't have an answer.
kind of like a rotating glockenspiel.
No. What it is it's
I don't have a question.
it's a present somebody gave me a long time ago, and it's important because that's someone gives me something that's an important thing. And the thing in question is a bee on a long bouncy spring with a bell under it. Mm-hmm. And I figured, well, we'll put it in a place of significance above where I do the work and make the things and do the stuff.
Ooh, and
And
the oscillation of the device transfers
Yes.
kinetic energy ultimately to the little clapper thing.
indeed,
Okay.
indeed, and only occasionally when there was a little anomaly of some sort in the perhaps airflow. But
I hope you cleaned the clapper.
oh yes. Well, see, what I did is well, first off, the reason that I didn't notice it is because I was looking basically horizontally in all directions and downward at the desk. It didn't occur to me till after the show to look
Cast
up.
your eyes
Yes.
heavenward, young man.
Precisely. And I look up and go, God damn it, that's it. So,
The mystery is solved.
oh, Andy's in. Hey, Andy, say hi.
Hey, Andy.
So,
Also, in the chat, I noticed some guy with the name Rumple Number Foreskin.
Aha, okay. But you know what?
Interesting.
Before it goes too far, let's Demonic Davros has put in a super chat. I'm David Cooley. Thanks for the mention. Would you like that changed to Demonic Davros? Please let me know in the chat, and I will alter that. So, alrighty. Yeah, that's the news.
You have now been introduced to three-dimensional space, side.
Yay. All
I
right.
was going to say, Si, there are other people I know who have this bad habit of forgetting that there is a world that exists above your eye line.
Yes. Khan had that issue, as I recall.
Okay.
Also, the
hopefully-
Flat Earth Convention.
Khan
And
suffered
aliens.
from two. Yeah.
And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Khan suffered
Wait a
from
moment.
two-dimensional thinking.
Okay, so I have a question.
All right.
Then what was what's his name? What's the flat earther from the documentary, the button thing?
Mark Sargent,
Mark Sargent. Yeah, what was his excuse then? Because that was
just a
below.
damn idiot.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, of course, speaking of Flat Earthers, I do believe there's a menu tonight.
That there is in fact a menu, but before we get to that, let me just say to our friend Demonic Davros, it shall be changed prior to the next video or movie night. The next thing that's coming out, it will be altered, so it is as you would like it to be. So there we go. Alrighty, yeah. Tonight we have got. We've got Reese. No, that is not a disqualification. That is actually.
Highly encouraged.
It's wise. You're insulated from the start. That's a good thing. Don't even worry about it. All right. Yeah. So tonight we've got let's see, something from JM Truth Radio TV. That was recommended by recommended by Jen.
Not Jay. Jen, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Who the hell is JM Truth, by the way?
Oh,
maybe you'll
He's
see.
probably the wisest of all Slurpees.
Maybe you'll see. Maybe you won't. It all depends on the
There
wheel
a
of misfortune.
competition for that?
Oh yes.
Fredo,
Oh yes.
you are in for a treat if it lands on him.
Oh dear.
We got
If
all
Freedom
treats
is
tonight.
ever immortalized, he will be the statue.
We got all treats tonight. Second thing we got on the wheel of misfortune is Noah's Ark and the Flood. Science confirms the Bible. This was put out
I've
on
seen
August
that.
8th.
That's
it's
Georgia Purdom.
indeed, and that will be ever so exciting if you land in that. That's from AIG. And that's an hour and 4 minutes, so we'll all be dead, and whoever in the public chat wants to take over the show, we'll make sure the information is available for you. And the last thing we
Tells us
have...
how many dinosaur kinds there are, maybe.
Alrighty. Okay, Purple Rise with Orange says, can we just set the drink counter to increment every 5 seconds as we just skip the video? Just let it play. Just let it play and drink along with the counter.
That would be quite accurate.
Indeed it would. Anyway, and
Now, of course,
the last thing we've got of the three is okay. Everybody, watch the viewer count go down. Okay, somebody make him stop doing that. Anyway,
You don't have rights to John Williams there, young man.
all right. The third one on the wheel is going to be Jaredism. Sorry.
Yeah, wait.
Jen has her hand up.
Oh, Jen, proceed.
That was up earlier. You missed it. Sorry.
Oh,
Can't take it down.
why can't you take it down?
Oh.
You should be able to.
Oh, can I?
There it
I
is.
didn't look.
Indeed.
Oh yes.
You can
Raise
wait.
hand.
So did I miss something that you wanted to add earlier? My apologies if I did.
No, I have added.
Oh, alrighty then.
no,
Okay.
shall we get to the wheel?
Either that or we all just go watch Star Trek reruns. What do y'all think?
Yeah, there we go.
I came here
That
for
will-
stupid, and I will get stupid. Damn it!
You will get stupid. I don't think that's exactly what. I don't think that's exactly what you meant to say, Tornado.
Are we doing like DS9 or Voyager or what?
Well, Tornado wants us to get stupid, so we'll do that.
Oh.
You actually take all the Star Trek episodes, put them into a blender, and put them out in completely incoherent order, and they would still be more intelligible than the videos we're about to see.
Okay, well, first order of business. The wheel is wrong.
I had an idea.
Yeah, so fix the wheel.
Let me
While
fix the
we're
wheel.
fixing the wheel, let's address a point that was made. Tornado wants us to get to the stupid. The audience wants us to get to Star Trek. So why don't we all compromise and just go with Discovery?
All right, there we go. Now,
I have a question.
and what might your question be? Oh, he who has not raised a hand. What?
Sorry, I'm not used to raising my hand.
That's okay. What would your question be, sir?
So could we just skip the stupid and just have a casual conversation?
God damn it!
No.
That's now. Although that is the best idea I have ever heard. There are expectations when people come here, and we
Low though they may be.
yes.
Oh God. Well, okay. What if we contact JM Truth and get instead? Because then you can have a conversation, and then there could be stupid, and we don't have to watch a movie.
I name you Delaymeister. All right. Tornado, would you care to say your presentation?
Yes, I will. Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Please let it be Jiren that we shall burn.
I don't like this.
Minute, did
see.
you?
Spoiled guy's just addicted to Jared.
No, he really needs to see JM. I think he would enjoy this.
We'll see.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
oh, thank God.
It's
Georgia Purdom, you're just
Roll it again. Roll it again.
I still saw movement.
oh stop that!
We still saw movement. Spin it again.
God damn it!
if you want to do that, I can summarize Georgia Purdom. She's wrong.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Why didn't you say so?
Thanks.
You in the audience is saying spin again.
Oh my God! All right, all right.
This is not a democracy.
Yes, it is.
All right. Yeah,
Well, the audience also agreed to the talk about Star Trek and playing Star Trek episodes. So
I agreed to that.
Essentially, size our slave.
I agreed to that. Anyway, all right.
Our video is about scientific method, isn't it?
So you're saying this is
yes, JM's is the one about the scientific method, which is why I say
Here,
well, love it.
all right. So
talk about
Curious,
the
I have a
scientific-
question.
so we're
Somebody please shoot me.
saying the wheel is still
That's what
moving.
I was gonna ask.
Yes,
Curious,
they're saying the
do we
win
have any
is
bananas
Purple
tonight?
rhymes with orange wants
Should I get-
AIG.
Shut up.
Shame upon you.
All right, we will, since everyone seems to be saying spin again, we will in fact spin again. But first, I see Mr. Hufford has the hand up. Sean, what have you to say?
I just need to know if I have to raise my hand to hiccup. I've had them before this afternoon.
So you've been holding the hiccups for as long as you had the hand up, waiting to be called.
I've been trying, and it's not working.
See, that is a gentleman right there.
That I am impressed. I'm impressed. All right. So we shall respin since nobody wanted AIG.
What? That's cheating.
Well, no, everybody wants it. You know, I live to serve. Jesus.
I'll give
No,
you
no, no, wait, no.
you
No. I do not live to serve Jesus. That kind of.
Wait, if you live to serve, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
No, that wasn't the joke. You missed it, pig. All right. Spinning again. Here we go. Damn it.
Oh God.
land on the white space, damn you. Land on the white space.
I went yellow.
Why is it got to be the white space?
Oh! All right. Now we can't spin 3 times, so God damn it, we're doing this. All right.
By the way, you're welcome, everyone. This is the shorter of the 3 videos.
Hold on. We went the longest one ever.
No, we don't, Pig. We're doing this one. Let's
see what JM Truth has to surprise us with.
Indeed, and I don't think you'll be disappointed, Tornado. Don't even worry about it.
And trust me, any video that JM makes is much longer than its time signature.
We've been there before. Uh-oh. A misspelling counter? What? Uh-oh.
Yes, we will need one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Okay, let's add 1 drink for every misspelling.
Is that safe?
We don't want alcohol poisoning.
Super chat.
Oh, we do. Let's see. Oh, Morton, thank you. Movie night of the year, 2435. RJ looks at the wheel and says, "Drink." They're wrong. Side strike. Bring on the pug. I'm good with that. That works. As far as I know, nobody's brave enough to doubt RJ. So,
RJ, I doubt everything you've ever said.
all right.
Oh, good grasshopper. Now we will discuss sources.
Oh, everyone is just saying. Harry Warp even says 1 drink per misspelling equals death by alcohol poisoning.
Pretty much.
I've got soda. I'm safe.
No. You're not.
Diabetic shock is still a thing.
Can confirm.
Oh,
Well, all I have is 3 sodas.
all right.
I was asking about the Ludlow video.
What
I
is
put a link
Kara
up
saying?
there.
I can't hear her after everyone's over speaking her.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I forgot.
Damn.
All right. New rule. If anybody hears even the slightest sound of Karis's voice, we shut up. All right. That's what we'll do.
Giggity.
All right. And first, let us do a mic check for Diana. Diana, mic check, please. Say hi to us.
Diana, can we hear you?
Hello. Hello.
Enraptured.
Hello?
Hello?
Putting Diana on the spot.
Hello.
She's freaking out.
Lavender lady, come to us.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Absolutely. There's that voice. There's that voice.
I need a drink. Oh god, I need a drink. I had to go through all kinds of shit to try to get Zoom installed. We'll know
See,
these
it told you Zoom
machines
sucks.
tomorrow. I finally got it installed on the new machine.
Well,
Okay.
all
We're
right.
here. Everything's great.
all right. All
Wait,
right.
Diana, you got a new machine?
I've had 2 machines for a year now.
Also, in response to Alethankar, Alethankar says Tornado should be required to attend a special movie night for his 21st birthday with a bottle of tequila. Sorry, but my 21st when I first joined movie night, it was already past my 21st birthday, so suck on that one.
All
My
right.
21st birthday, however, falls on a Friday.
Super chat.
Speaking of sucking on that one, Rumple Foreskin.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I go through all this setup to come into Rumple Foreskin. Wait a minute.
All right. All right. Rumple Foreskin has a super chat. There is enough alcohol to drink to misspellings. That may be the case. All righty. Well, very good. Oh, we got kind of looks like we got a full house. That's nice.
My word, do we ever? Yeah.
All
Try
right.
for a royal flush. Start that video.
Yeah, we will start
Dozen
that.
of us in here.
Yeah. So
Oh, there's a dozen? Oh,
yes.
God.
So
That's
everybody.
going to be over talking central.
No, it's not. No, pig.
Let me get Zoom set up so the hands are there.
Yeah. Pig, let me clarify on that point you brought up. No, it's not. It's not going to be that. Just so you know.
I hope we have technical difficulties tonight.
We'll be well managed.
Okay, now
No.
we're getting there.
Oh, if nobody's fooled by technical difficulties, everybody knows the last time I claimed there were technical difficulties with the audio, I was really screaming at everybody. Just everybody knows.
Yeah, and we loved it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so everybody do the hands like Tornado's doing now. We'll go to Tornado in a second. Just everybody do that. Don't talk over other people. If you hear something's already been said and it sounds even a little like what you're going to say, just wait. There'll be some more stupid for you to get. You don't have, try not to duplicate what anybody else said. All right, well now, let us see what my friend Tornado has to say. Tornado, what do you got?
Bring on the stupid!
Excellent, excellent. Well done indeed. Let us get that going here.
And of course, I'm honoring brevity.
Oh, that's it. You know what? I gotta get a recording of Tornado doing brevity. Brevity. Did you ever hear brevity? That would be excellent. All right. Oh, Pig has a hand up. Pig, you have something to say before we get started?
Can the safe word be pineapple?
As long as nobody says pizza, we're good. All right. And Jared has a hand up. Jared, what do you got?
No, it has to be pineapple on pizza. And the other suggestion, ironic?
Yes. Pineapple and pizza.
Jesus. All right.
Yes, I'm with you there.
Pig, drop the hand.
And that's why whenever I meet Sly next time, we're getting pizza.
Pizza's good. Hi, Andy.
Andy, you're a good man.
Well, yeah.
Hey everyone. Yes, pineapple on pizza, absolutely.
Oh! We're gonna have some arguments after show, Andy.
Who could have predicted?
Hey, that's
We're
fine.
going to talk about delivering pineapple pizza on Star Trek sets.
All right.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Hashtag Team Pineapple.
Team Pineapple. That's
It
awful.
is 12:26. Let's get on with the stupid.
Yep. Here we go. Alrighty, let us find it. It is. Where the hell is it?
You lost it? You mean we can't go on tonight?
No, we can't go on.
Oh, thank God. It's a miracle.
I'm
There
sorry.
is a God.
This is, yeah. Science 100 series, Physics 101, Scientists in the Scientific Method. That's the one. Here we go.
We have all this set up.
The title alone convinces me.
Dude,
I just have one question.
Hush! The video's playing.
Wait.
Why with the flurfers? Why with the flurfers is there never an engineer? Are we just non-existent to the rest of the world?
They hate us because we actually work with the things in reality and can debunk them in our sleep. There's
Also,
why they run away from me.
There you go. Oh, Jen's coming back in. Somebody let Jen in. That somebody will be.
Oh, right.
If somebody would be.
There we go. All right, and all right. So we've made it. We've made it into 1/3 of a revolution of most of these gears, and Sean seems to have something to add. Sean, what?
I'm just going to add that the reason why there's no engineers is because they're the Oompa Loompas of science.
Oh, that hurts, Sean. That hurts.
I'll have you know, Andy and I have had more house fires than you could even count on both hands. So there, beat that. All right. Tornado, this is you're going to say moving on, aren't you? Tornado, go ahead.
Actually, I'm going to say drink because JM and the Truth don't have any reason to be near each other. Because from what I've heard, JM is a flurfer and they avoid truth like the plague.
Okay, all right. Jared, what do you got?
So add one on the drink counter.
Fun fact about this intro that he has decided to use.
Yes.
Does it look oddly familiar to anyone?
Lionsgate.
Yes, and the question is he actually going to be able to continue using it because of said potential IP infringement with Lionsgate?
Holy crap.
I mean, it says the truth on it.
Get the tiny bit.
Anyone communicating with Lionsgate to tell them about this?
Should we skip? So is it that serious? Should we skip over this?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I mean, may as well, yeah.
Mandelbrot said.
Oh my God, there's so much of it.
Okay, drink.
Things, I bet.
I'm nearly sure I heard a Karis voice.
Yes, read that one out, Karis, please.
Still exists to me.
Of course
you
you
exist for me, Karis. Don't worry.
Just keep talking, yeah.
Well, your mic is extremely lower than normal.
So you gotta listen. Then you gotta listen real hard. When you hear a Karis voice, just clam up. That's all we gotta do. So, Karis, please proceed.
Whenever there's a Karis voice, I'm all ears.
All right, you have the floor, Karis. Please proceed.
No, I forgot.
Mandelbrot said 1 minute ago.
Go ahead and read it.
You read it.
No, you read it.
No, you
I don't
read
have it.
Fine. Hang on. Pineapple goes on the pizza, or else it gets the hose again.
Wait a moment. That was for me to read.
All right.
I mean, who would have possibly predicted that of all the things that pineapple on pizza would be the issue that divided Science Strike Force?
Yeah, that is the battle too. I believe
everything we've been through.
I believe blood has been
Maybe
shed.
if you recall, but there once was an episode where the entire intro was about whether or not gravity pulls a roll towards the operator or towards the wall against the operator. I'll just go ahead and let you guys all look that one up and see what we were talking about a couple of years ago.
Have we been doing this that long? Jesus. All right.
Yeah, we have.
All right, Jen, what do you got?
For those who are not familiar with Mr. J.M. Truth, please don't undersell him. He is a physicist. He has a master's in science, of science. He is a biochemist. He is a scientist. And he is an expert filmmaker.
Aha.
And you're forgetting he's outstanding in his field.
Yes, that has been proven true on video.
Oh, would that be a cornfield?
Alrighty.
Don't talk about corn.
We file this under the Dunning-Kruger catalog.
Indeed.
Yeah, okay.
Hey guys, testing my mic.
Perfect. Perfect.
Five.
Well done. Well done indeed.
Dulcet tones are reaching my ears.
Perfectly.
Amazing tones are.
All right.
When you look up dulcet in the encyclopedia, you get Karis's picture.
Yes.
All right. Tornado, what do you got?
Well, first off, I've got a couple drinks here. First on, the truth can set you free, or rather, the truth is what has currently been established because, hey, science works, bitch. And
Okay.
my second drink call would be not the truth can set you free, but the intro can set you in prison because of Lionsgate.
Well,
Not necessarily
I don't know that would be.
financial issues.
yeah. All right. So we'll.
The intro can set you in the slammer.
How about the moving on is what we're gonna do? How about that?
Yeah, let's cut to the science
Guy's already
content.
getting angry.
Here we
He's
go.
gonna start drinking and yelling at us.
No. They'll just be mutings and bootings.
Sorry, I was having flashbacks to my dad.
All right. Yes. I'm sorry. I think I talked over you that time, Karis. My apologies. Alrighty. Everybody ready?
Here we go.
Here we go. And we're sorry. Here we go.
And away we go.
It wasn't important, trust me.
Proudly presents.
Indeed. Not just presents. There's pride.
I think with a website like truth.com.
All right. And
Forgotten our features?
Drink.
Drink.
what? No. Just. What could you possibly?
No. Go back for a second. This again, background stuff that people have to know about.
All right.
I mean,
So when you see that after someone's name, what is that supposed to mean?
Master of Science.
Yes.
Now, tell me, is a science degree one that contains 0 scientific lab work, 0 mathematics, and is also admittedly a marketing degree by the school that has presented said degree?
Ooh, that was not disclosed in this intro, now was it?
So is this like misrepresenting himself in the same way Dr. Dino does with his air quotes doctorate?
Oh, not very much so. And we actually have a member of the community who contacted Full Sail University, where Joshua got his Master's of Science degree from, and they admitted it's a marketing degree.
So that does not say Ms. It's supposed to be Master of Science. Okay, got it. All right. Tornado, what would you like to add?
You're a factor.
Oh, stop it! God damn it!
Best stand for micro shit.
All right, here we go. More of this. Yeah. How much intro do we need? Is this Jaren? Here we go.
Hello, my friends. My name is Russell Michael. This is the Science Series. This is Physics 101. The Scientist and the Scientific Method.
H in this time.
Now, before I get started, I have...
What?
Tornado.
This better be something good, or we're muting you for 15 minutes. Do you want? Do you? Wait. Did you hear me? Did you hear me, Tornado? This better be something good, or 15 minutes. I'm muting you.
Yes, JM Truth
All right.
is actually talking about science, and yet he does not even have a science degree. Why the heck are you talking about science when you can't even back up what you're saying?
I'm not sure you need a degree in order to back up what you're saying.
And here's the thing. Let him actually be wrong before you call him out on the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
15-minute mute.
While he does use his degrees as an argument from authority, it is a fallacious one because he has no actual knowledge or practical application for the topics he is speaking on.
Oh, Andy, super chat.
Andy, super chat. Andy. Yay!
Andy, read Andy's super chat.
Okay.
It is nothing.
Well, he's obviously he's commenting on the information content of the video we're about to see.
Yes.
Also, make a comment about the navigational clusterfuck posted to JM Truth's site.
Hello.
You know, I would comment on things of that nature, but when you've been spending like 10 hours a day, every day, working as a COO, overseeing all operational aspects of a business, you just kind of want to hang out and listen to other people bitch that aren't bitching at you.
That sounds like it would be an improvement.
Understandable. Hello.
Hill, good.
It was rather the minor point that I like that he feels the need that, yes, this is a science video, therefore I must be wearing a lab coat and have a clipboard and be wearing glasses in order to appear as a scientist, because otherwise no one will be able to take me seriously.
Because geologists always wear lab coats.
Oh, exactly.
And
hey, they're being serious.
But
Don't look at the sweatband.
Hill, are we giving him points for the badass beard or no?
No.
All right.
Okay.
It's on its way to being a badass beard.
Yeah,
It's not even Rutherford B. Hayes level.
And that is not a lab coat. That is a chef's coat.
Who wants to touch spooky bed hairs pineapple?
He's gonna bake us some science.
That's not even a chef's coat. That's the coat that the guys at a banquet food line
It suddenly becomes
well, sous chef.
There you go.
Oh, well, that brings us back to the suing part with the logo.
All right, Jen, you got more?
Those are legitimate glasses. I haven't seen any of that thing since before I got my cataracts removed.
All right, so there's a legitimate point in this video. All right.
Yes, Christy, I see you.
Oh, hi, Christy.
Okay, he's fine. He's a real blind person. I concede.
All righty. Very good. Moving on. And everybody drop the hands if possible. And let's see. I think can I call drink because this expert cinematographer couldn't even get his fucking visual aid in the shot?
and for the people out there, just remember, this guy has run multiple production companies per his own claims. He does have a bachelor's of filmography, but it's a bachelor of arts.
That would make sense.
I mean,
So, can we just agree that, based on one of the comments I've seen in the side chat, that his degree in cinematography is BS?
I'm like, is he not like? I mean, obviously, he must have learned like the rule of thirds. He's just like obliterating it.
All right.
The master of science, he's got the bachelor's of filmography. Does he have the doctor of truthology?
No.
Perhaps
Moving
not.
on.
Moving on. Jen, drop the hand, please. Here we go. Moving on.
Friends of mine and people from all over who once in a while will say silly things. Okay, so I have a good friend. We'll call him Eric, who during a discussion about certain scientific topics, like flat Earth, said to me, well, Josh, you just don't understand the scientific...
Okay, nobody caught that. Scientific topics like flat Earth. That just
without saying.
All right.
Without saying.
All right. Yeah. We do. You know what? Augment. We don't need to waste time on that. Everybody.
I don't know.
Point and laugh.
I'm just giving
I'm
a
kind
spin
of distracted
wherever it
by.
stops.
I'm distracted by the chef coat.
Understandable.
I really hope he's like
server.
It's like a flat Earth cake in the middle of this. That would be so cool.
All right.
It's a chocolate cake.
RJ. Oh Jesus. RJ.
I think
go
we
ahead.
need to increment the WTF did I just hear counter 2 on that one.
That is a good point. Didn't even think of that. All righty.
I think Lisa for Truth had asked earlier, whatever happened to Not Even Wrong, and I think that falls under the WTF did I just hear?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. That's we started calling it by its actual name. Who would say that? That's what we're thinking. Who would say such a thing? All right. And here we go.
Oh, my, here we go.
Method. Okie dokie. Let's forget for a moment that I was taught in elementary school the scientific method. Because my friend decided to claim something so ridiculous, I decided I'm going to demonstrate I know what the scientific method is by giving a block of instruction on the scientific method. Not to mention the fact that it also lays the foundation for the rest of these science courses as we get into the more complicated topics and I have to tear down certain things. The scientific method is going to come into play in a huge way. So,
Get to the point.
before we get to the science...
Oh, Morton Nielsen, Super Chat. He's got the recipe for pineapple pizza on his clipboard, henceforth known as Flurf Pizza. All right. Hill, you got the hand up. Is this a drink moment?
Yeah, minor one was that he's saying, yes, the scientific method, which I learned in elementary school. Exactly. It is an elementary school level of the scientific method. Like, if you're the scientist built about science, you're not going to refer to elementary school students to ask them about the finer points of how the mechanism of the universe. There's advancements and nuance that the elementary school level does not contain. That's the whole point of why it's the elementary school level.
You mean it's only foundational and purely meant to just get the concept started and not be the end-all be-all of it?
It's almost like they teach elementary principles.
It's almost like it's the elementary level.
Almost, indeed.
There's
All
a reason that you taught this in elementary school, and if you go to higher learning, you refine it, and it's not just this like building block thing of you do this one thing, do this one thing, and do this one thing. Now you have completed the science. There's nuance.
Yeah, and I see the steps. We've got elementary school, and then of course there's high school because it's higher than that. It's a higher level of understanding. But then we jump right to the then we jump right to the universe. I mean,
no, you skipped some steps. You forgot the middle bit.
The hell are you talking about? Why are you interrupting me?
There's a middle bit between high school and elementary school.
Okay, now I'd like the explanation of my second question.
Because I can, and you love me.
RJ has his hand up.
Yes, indeed. RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering whether or not the area in which he was studying this elementary science method was during the tetherball experiment.
Could very well be. All right. And, all right. 3 drinks in, and we're at 1:49. This does not suck so far.
Flipping along, boy.
All righty. And here's more of this.
Method. We need to start with, what is a scientist?
Okay.
So, let's ask the question. What is a scientist? A scientist is a person engaging in a systematic activity to acquire knowledge that describes or predicts the natural world. In a more restricted sense, a scientist may refer to an individual who uses the scientific method. The person may be an expert in one or more areas of science. For example, I'm a physicist and I'm also a biochemist and a research scientist. So I cover 3 different areas.
All right. We will augment that. And, Jen's got to come in.
I got it.
Oh, cool. All right. Let's see. It's a Tornado. Please proceed with decent language.
So, yeah, you say you have these things where you're a biochemist and various other fields, except people got in contact with the college you had education in, and, well, they showed that it was just a marketing degree. You cannot claim to be someone who does important science and then have a marketing degree. It just doesn't follow.
No,
Your argument is an argument from false authority, which is the first of many logical fallacies that I'm going to bet you are going to commit.
I'm interested in knowing what his standard is for becoming an expert. Because obviously a degree isn't it. So what is it?
First, you got to get a clipboard.
A line chef's code is handy if you have one.
There it is. That's it.
All right. Let us see what.
If I make a sandwich out of crackers, the little tiny pieces of salami, and then cheese from a Lunchable, does that make me a chef?
No. You
makes you a sandwich engineer.
You missed the first.
Engineer. Yes.
You missed the.
I'm an engineer, guys.
You missed
Andy, I'm with you now.
You missed the first step, pig.
What?
Put your goddamn hand up. Anyway, Jared.
Look how nicely Jared's doing it.
Yes, Jared. What do you got, sir?
And waiting patiently.
Indeed.
Well, Mr. Physicist, Biochemist, everything under the sun, modified sniper there. Do you really want to go down this road with people who have actually looked into your background and everything you have claimed? Because, guess what? The whole truth in your name should be changed to liar. Because a army field medic does not a biochemist make.
Okay.
A marketing degree does not a physicist make. And a 2-week familiarization course at the range does not a modified sniper make.
Okay.
To say that I'm familiar with this idiot and his claims and history.
It's an alternative sniper.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression that you might be familiar with this individual.
Oh, just slightly. And Jay, I already mentioned Full Sail University and the wonderful conversation that you had with him.
Alrighty.
By the way, Furball, if you are watching, come join and tell us what education he proclaimed to have within your
Okay.
within your view.
You pig, you're not getting it. You're just not. You're not getting it. You can't.
It was so silent, no one was speaking.
Oh, you know what? All right. This time, this okay? All right, that works. Hell, what have you to add?
So I really do hope he does more than just read off Wikipedia and that just verbatim, because I could do that too. For example, Earth is the third planet from the sun and the only astronomical object known to harbor life. The shape of the Earth is approximately an oblate spheroid, and etc., etc., etc. And that's just again off of Wikipedia. So I mean, if that's really all you're gonna do, man, just like don't even bother. Just put some links in the description to say, hey, just read those, and then you're done. Like if you're not going to contribute anything more than that, then don't even bother. And I guess along a similar line to what Jared was saying was like, you don't have to have. I mean, you don't have to have certain credentials in order to talk about science and scientific topics. That's the great thing about science is that it's all you need is the right knowledge and it can be accessible. You don't need like certain letters after your name. But to lie about those credentials that's something else entirely, and that's just like you're literally just putting on airs to give yourself some degree of authority that's completely unearned.
Quite true, and it's an insult to those who did put in the effort to work through the degrees in question. All right, and RJ, what would you like to add?
Well, given Jared correctly pointing out about his lying aspect, perhaps we can keep an eye out during this for an extra science experiment. The telltale signs of smoke coming up as his pants cat's on fire.
All right. We'll keep an eye out for that. All righty. And Jen, what do you got?
Come on, Jen.
Well,
You're talking to a muted microphone.
I'm sorry.
There
Take
you
a look
go.
at his quotations. He does give credit to the sourcing of those quotations. And you'll find he very carefully dances around the use of Wikipedia in some very key areas. I don't want to say any more for spoilers' sake.
I don't think I want to see him dancing.
All right. Tornado, what would you like to add?
The best assumption is that we can assume that he only missed degrees that he does not have in order to give his quackery some gloss.
All right. And Jared, what do you got?
So it has been requested from the chat.
Yes.
We would like RJ's opinion on the school that JM attended where he got his bachelor's.
Oh, Evergreen University?
Evergreen.
Yeah, it's kind of like Looney Tunes for weird political correctness and intense things, and has been in the news recently, as well as being raked over the coals by no other than Jerry Coyne for its questionable behavior.
Aha. Interesting. Okay.
Distracted by doggies and somebody's camera.
There's doggies? Where's dog? Wait, let me move this. I didn't know. Nobody.
There's no dogs.
Oh, puppy! Yay! Puppy.
Oh, doggy! All right, everybody watch the doggy. Forget about this stupid video.
I used Andy's webcam like ages ago.
Nobody told me there were going to be doggies. I wouldn't have put these stupid videos up. All right. And on that note, I see no more hands. So as much as I would like to do anything other, I will push play. Here we go.
I started as a research scientist and then became also a physicist and a biochemist. Okay. Now that definition that I just read you was from Wikipedia.
Okay.
Now, someone will probably say, wait, you can't use Wikipedia. It isn't recognized in the graduate community.
Drink.
All right. It's, let's see. Jared, what do you got?
The issue with using Wikipedia is not the fact that it is not an academically rigorous source. You can use Wikipedia in your research as a starting point. You don't cite Wikipedia itself as the source because every viable article on Wikipedia has this wonderful section at the bottom called references. Why not go to the source material that they use and cite the actual source material? That is the issue those of us with a functional brain actually take with people like you wanting to cite Wikipedia.
If you're a lazy effort like him, that won't be comfortable.
No, indeed. Alrighty. Tornado, you have something you'd like to add to this?
Well, yeah, it's like you're saying there's also another issue regarding Wikipedia.
Yes.
It's that anyone can edit that.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Oh, really?
They locked it down about 2 years ago.
Oh, nice. I did not know this.
It's how long since I've tried to change anything on there.
Yeah, Wikipedia used to be, in its infancy, was very malleable to where just about anyone could edit an article. And I know this because I was one of the people who edited the article about the USS Kitty Hawk, giving more up-to-date information about how the ship was being utilized and how the command was actually operating. But following that, Wikipedia actually did lock down what types of accounts and what actual information could be updated. Before, it was you did an update and bam, it was live immediately.
Yeah.
Now it actually goes through a filter and goes through a verification before those changes are published. So while you can submit it, it's not guaranteed that your submission will get through.
Aha.
Okay, maybe that's a bit of an improvement.
I approve. That is a good thing. Alrighty. And let us, RJ, what would you like to add?
I just want to add that I thank you, Jared, for using the word malleable.
Alrighty. And?
I don't want to know what this chair looks like.
Go in that direction, but that's all right.
Sean, what would you care to add?
I would just like to keep everybody factually correct on Wikipedia's current stance. Anybody can still edit it. However, you must have an account and logged in to edit it, and it will credit you with that edit. As evidenced by last year when Sleeping Warrior, aka Anthony Riley, decided to make a few changes to Full Pulse page. It logged every one of them and registered the changes as made by Sleeping Warrior. He did 3 of them because he kept on screwing them up.
Is this Michelle or the other one?
The Leon.
Okay.
The right one.
This was after he got busted out for the whole Full Pulse fuck up.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I have to ask that.
Reese.
You know what? Sorry.
Yeah, Reese, yes. It's a Gleason map as evidenced by, you probably can't see it because of the diminished size of the video, but it actually says Gleason's at the top of it. So yes, that is in fact. All right. Tornado, what would you got the hand up?
Yeah, it's almost as bad as Kent Hovind deciding to ad hom the shit out of Charles Darwin or ad hom the shit out of Charles's, I think, grandfather by saying Charles Darwin's grandfather by saying he had X legitimate children and 2 illegitimate children. Blah 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 blah. Very immoral. Blah blah blah. That does nothing with the argument.
Yes, as if that has anything to do with. Yeah, agreed. All right. And here we go.
True. We usually can't cite from this source as it is not considered completely accurate and is not quote-unquote peer-reviewed. However, of course, Wikipedia is edited by multiples of people, and lots of people think lots of different things, so you get a lot of different information on Wikipedia, which is what makes it not correct. Relax. Don't get your knickers in a twist. I'll be using a lot of sources to cite from.
Cool.
Like this next one.
Okay.
Here's one from the Merriam-Webster site. Scientist. A person...
We're paused. Go ahead, Tornado.
Karis says, "Gotta go, guys."
Oh, so, sorry.
Bye, Karis.
Sorry to hear that. Bye, Karis. Have a nice evening.
Aw, hi, Karis. Gonna miss you.
She said she was tired from trips that she had been doing, so
Indeed.
get your rest.
I just thought she hated me.
Indeed, you rest. No, that was me, Sean.
Oh. Only we're clear on that.
Indeed, yes. I'm hated by all, not just Karis. So, anyway, RJ, what would you like to add?
Yeah, my knickers are now in a twist. Is he planning on definitioning us to death?
Part of it.
Like part of what I mentioned earlier. I really hope he doesn't just literally just read off a bunch of definitions verbatim.
Well, I think they're
that'll be about
going to be dashed.
Incoming quote mines.
Well, or might be just definitions that fit his argument. Who knows?
For the second week in a row, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
This is the
so
stuff.
Sorry.
Do not apologize. This is what we promised people. So you are on the ball. You're
They're
false
warned.
advertising if we put up stuff that wasn't crap.
Indeed. What are we gonna do? Just watch Carl Sagan and just be silent through the whole thing? No.
That would be
James
beautiful.
Burke.
All right. You know what? All right. Yeah. You know what? That's it. Let's watch Carl Sagan and just be silent through the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. And Jared, you have something to add?
Yeah, so I find it exceptionally laughable how his first reference is just plainly to a Wikipedia article, and then he follows it up with Merriam-Webster.
Indeed.
Sorry, the dictionary is still not an academic source.
Pretty soon he's going to bring up Encyclopedia Britannica, I bet.
All right. Super chat. Mark Weiser
Super
says JM Truth is so dumb. He did a whole video claiming, citing a library resource article to show that gravity. Oops, scrolled off screen. Gravity is just a theory. Aha. At the start of the article, they clearly state it is satire. Aha. Missed that one. Hey.
Yeah, he pulled a G-man.
Drink.
And 1 second. Be right with you. Cajun Crustacean. Hail Sagan. I'm with you. And Tornado, what do you got?
Now, the correct response would be, why the hell do you call gravity? Now, the question that anyone would probably ask GM Truth would be, why the hell do you claim gravity is just a theory? And then if he says, it's never been proven, dude, what the thing you're thinking of about the theory relating to gravity is is the theory of relativity, which has been proven in a sort of certain point of view with a solar eclipse from a century ago. So you can get off your high horse right now. As for gravity itself, that is a law concocted by Newton, basically the law of universal gravitation. So that describes the what of gravity. Relativity explains the why and the how.
Alrighty. And look at the super chat. Not super chat. I'm the public chat. Hello says hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Anyway, sorry for getting that. Sorry for getting that started again. All right. No more hands. Damn it. Here we go.
Learned in science, and especially natural science. A scientific investigator.
Drink.
Here's the definition.
What?
Oh, come on, man. He's just reading off stuff. There's nothing to drink. He's just reading stuff.
Well, mispronouncement.
Oh.
This is a guy who can't even spell correctly half the time.
I'm a pedantic asshole, so I'm going to call drink
Obviously.
on learned. It is learned.
No,
No.
Actually,
No.
In that context, he did pronounce it right.
Yeah, learned is Yes, learned is good. In that. Yeah, we're good. All right.
Trust us.
What the hell?
It goes back to the Queen's English.
Every season, new rules, right, Tornado? All right.
Yeah, it's like I am not bothered. What the hell? What the hell does bothered mean? It is learned.
Not when you're talking about someone who is described as having learned many things. That you use the pronunciation learned. It is a learned individual. All right, and on that note, moving on. Here we go.
From the Science Council, a scientist. A scientist is someone who systematically gathers and uses research and evidence, making a hypothesis and testing it, to gain and share understanding and knowledge. That's from sciencecouncil.org.
Okay.
This is the basic definition of a scientist, folks.
Okay.
So there is also something called a research scientist, as I mentioned earlier. This is where I started my journey.
Wait.
So let's look at the
Okay. I heard a drink called Jared. What do you got?
When the hell did he actually reference a research scientist at the beginning of all this?
He didn't.
Maybe you should cut back on those jump cuts there and maybe actually keep some of the information that you actually have stated to keep your argument congruent.
Congruence. Oh, yeah.
Are you really having like a big word orgasm over there, RJ?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. First malleable and now congruence. Boy, I'm not going to get any smart words from our talking clipboard there, so I got to get where I can.
All right. And Jen, what would you like to add?
Well, he refers to himself now as a research scientist, and I am wondering if anyone in any of his videos ever has seen him perform any experimentation whatsoever.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's sort of intrinsic. It's sort of intrinsic in research scientists to do research, right?
I know the answer to that.
No, please proceed.
Research is anything confirming the flat Earth.
That may very well be how they're thinking. All right, here we go. Stuff. Oh, sorry, the machine's broke. Can't do it. You're not.
No, it's fine. Andy has a dog.
Yeah, Andy has a dog. Woohoo! All right, moving on. Here we go.
Definition of a research scientist. What is a research scientist? A research scientist is a scientist who works primarily with gathering knowledge and understanding research.
Can we say drink for just reading us stuff that need not be read?
This is so boring. This is worse than Jeranism. He put up a definition on screen. He's just reading it verbatim. This is nothing new. It's just so boring.
I agree. That's what I was saying.
It's not even bad science or stupid. He's just reading.
Yes, reading stuff that need not be read.
I mean, is it just me, or is this all very supercilious?
That. RJ's happy.
You RJ.
I was going to say superfluous, but
perhaps contemptuous.
You're going all persiflage on this, aren't you?
Superfluous.
All right, let us see what I think.
Perhaps even potty.
All right, Tornado had the hand up. What do you got there, sir?
Yes, I do believe that reading stuff off the screen and not getting to the frickin' point is very, well, how should I say it? It is very, well, I guess I could say rude of you. It should be considered very unpleasant of you.
Okay, I just noticed something disturbing. It's good that I'm not eating pizza because I just noticed that this Hawaiian vodka, guess what it's made with?
Pineapple.
God damn it. All right.
I was hoping it was made of pizza.
No, it's not. RJ, what have you to add?
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, this is so boring. Are we there yet, Daddy? Can we get to the science method, Daddy? How far is he going to be going with this? Is he going to say research scientist? A research scientist is a human being made of atoms that occupies time-space and walks around and says things and writes words down. I mean, get to the point, damn it.
And maybe defining each one of those words, too. We don't know. It certainly appears that way.
RJ, you don't have to worry about him mentioning space-time because he doesn't accept that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I can
was just silly talk on
So hold on.
I can look at the Wikipedia article for space-time.
Look up the Wikipedia article for fucking jackass.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Wait. Hold on.
Holding on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could someone repeat that? Did someone say that JM Truth doesn't accept that space-time exists?
He's a flurfer. Of course he doesn't.
Why would that shock you?
And by the way, Mark Beiser in the chat just brought something else up on top of this. Keep in mind, he claims to be a research scientist himself, among other things. He says that 1 times 10 to the negative 17th is a negative number.
Drink!
I mean, he has banned me. Oh no, he has banned my main account from commenting anywhere on any of his channels because I asked him repeatedly, is 10 to the negative 17 a negative number?
It's not.
Did you think?
It is a very, very small decimal.
It's tiny. All right.
Number.
Hey, Super Chat. Shadow says, his source is a site that reports pay scale of jobs, therefore unreliable in context definition. Okay. That works.
Now, as far as the space-time thing goes, does this guy seriously not accept that there are 3 spatial dimensions plus time?
Well, no. Space-time being the fabric that is quintessential to relativity.
I mean, I suppose this is all just so vapid. Like, it's literally just reading off definitions. Like, okay, who cares? Get to a point. I could read off a bunch of other definitions. Like,
Okay,
it's not...
so you came here expecting
Jared
to
looked good.
You came here expecting to gain knowledge from the video. That's what you're telling me,
I
Hill.
came here expecting to tell RJ that I got his books and then leave.
All right, well.
Okay, see ya.
All right, here we go. More of this, and we'll see what happens.
Scientists are employed in applied scientific fields that involve development and design work. The research scientists typically can be found in academic settings or similar areas. Again.
Okay, thanks for reading us that. That's really helpful. Demonic Davros, hey, super chat, woohoo! Point, lots of zeros, 1 is not a negative number. Agreed!
But sorry, you couldn't even say I talked over him because we literally just said the exact same thing.
Exactly, you weren't talking over him, you were augmenting him.
Exactly.
All right, here we go.
And that's where I started.
Hang on.
Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't see that.
As a follow-on to the super chat,
Uh-huh.
not only does he say that it's a negative number, 10 to the negative 17th, he did the math, is negative 170. It is 10 times negative 17.
Oh dear.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And
I really need a drink.
And this is someone who claims to be a biochemist, a physicist, a scientist, a research scientist, and thinks he's the shit when it comes to film.
Hold on.
And a banquet server.
1 times 10 to the negative 17th is not a negative number. That number is actually point
Oh, no.
0.00000000000000001.
There
Which
you
is
go.
exactly what Demonic Davros put in his super chat.
There we go.
Read off.
And that can be abbreviated lots of zeros, 1. So, here we go. It's like the transistor, the 2 and lots of 2s. I'm sure everybody screwed with those in the past. All right, here we go. More stuff.
Researching different topics and gathering information. So, the next issue is the pseudoscientist. Since we're going to discuss the scientist...
Is anybody listening to the background music he chose? Ride of the Valkyries?
Wow. I'm not getting it.
Okay, here.
I'm really glad I'm not.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Flight of the Valkyries is that it has this lovely build-up, whereas this is just complete flat line.
Yeah, well, listen to the dramatic music in the back. You'll recognize it.
We need to discuss what is a not scientist. Somebody who pretends to be a scientist or pretends to be someone of knowledge and isn't. So, pseudoscientist, here's the definition.
I feel like this point that everyone's thinking doesn't need to be said. Like we're all thinking it, so we don't need to say it.
Pretty much. I think. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna make a joke about the irony meter. Somebody's.
I just have one thing to add to this.
Okay, Sean. Wait. All right.
Oh no! Oh no! Tornado's deflating.
Apparently. All right, Sean.
Sorry, what the hell did I just hear?
All right.
Sean, come on.
Sean, go ahead.
This is definitely an irony meter moment because he's got pseudoscience on the screen. It's transparent, so you can see his face.
All right. Very good. All right, Jen, what would you like to add?
Couldn't he have just eliminated the definition here and put a big yellow arrow pointing at his head?
Yeah, wave his arms a little bit. Yes, absolutely. All right.
He was being honest. He is incapable of that.
Hold on.
Also, this whole thing is a complete non sequitur. Like, if you're going to talk about science and the scientific method, you don't need to talk about what science isn't. You literally talked about he's brought up pseudoscience before scientific method. There's no point. If you're going to talk about those things, you don't need to say, oh, here's what they're not, and work by like a process of elimination.
There you go.
Just say what it is. You don't need to say it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. Just
cucumbers.
Like keep fucking reading off the definitions. Joy of joys.
Well, this is a physics 101 course. You know, it's basic. It's got to cover everything.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Tornado, you want to throw something in here?
Yes, I do. Remember that thing about you said about the ironing meter?
Yes.
My ironing meter, his needle is now buried all the way down to the core because
see.
it blew up that badly. It's like, why are you putting up the definition of pseudoscientist when you're sitting here claiming to have a degree in biochemistry and physics, and the only degree you've actually ever had is a degree in marketing?
There you
So, by that definition, look at the screen that you just put up, JM Truth. Look at it, read it, and weep.
See, the more significant issue, I think, is where did the doggy go? Anyway.
I see the tail.
There we go. All right, and Morton, the response to your letting me know about the naked alert is that has been rectified. So fear not. Both based on comments. So, Jared, what do you got?
So, I forgot the first point that I was going to make in response to Hill, because Tornado, you kind of blew this up in a bad way. He doesn't claim to have the degrees to make himself a biochemist and a physicist. He claims he has degrees, one of them being a master's of science. Notice that he never gives a specialty for what his degrees are, just that he has them, because they have fuck all to do with his claims of being a physicist and a biochemist. It's other areas that he points to, his actual quote-unquote work, that he uses as substantiating those aspects to it. So don't jump the gun and try to put words in his mouth on his claims too much.
So there'll be a fair supply of claims that we really don't need to do that.
The only claim he's made is his credentials. Like, aside from that, he's literally just reading off definitions.
Yeah, but his credential that he's given is that he has a master's in science.
That's it. Science.
Masters of science. Yeah, he hasn't claimed an actual specialty to any of his degree path. So to say that he is claiming to be these things because of his degrees, not exactly right.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to make a point, quite frankly.
Good luck with that. All right, Jen, what would you like to add?
I don't recall if it's this video or one of his others. He actually verbally, in the camera's view, delineates that he is a biochemist because he does experiments, that he is a physicist because he does experiments. He doesn't apply them to his degree. He applies them to the fact that he does these things. So therefore, he is those things.
All right, and hey, look at the public chat. Astronomy Live. Hi. That would be one of that would be one of the people that recorded such imagery that I had to clandestinely take the SD card from my camera and pretend to have lost it. That's
staying up awake for this.
That's yeah. After looking,
doorknob head.
After looking at his footage, I just did. Now this SD card has been reduced in value by what I have put upon it, based on looking at that. So
doorknob head
has
it perfectly down. He has degrees, 10 degrees of separation from actual science.
There you go. Alrighty, and RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to ask, how far are we into his fabulous video?
Oh, we are just flying right along, and that's an absolute lie. We're at 4 minutes and 34 seconds out of
a video that is how long?
14 minutes.
So in 10 minutes, he will presumably explain more about what the scientific method that was the topic of
yes. Science is coming. It's in the title. It has to be coming. Why would...
Okay, I'm getting anxious here, and I'm going to have some people use some big words to keep me through.
I mean, who would put science and scientific method in a title if they're not going to, follow through? That would be silly.
A scientist might.
That is,
isn't delineated big enough?
Oh yeah, delineated, yeah.
Okay, Andre, would you like to hear some of my sesquipedalian vocabulary?
Yes.
All right.
You're going to indulge in some extraneous verbiage now, aren't you?
Always appreciated. All right. And on that note, here we go. Stuff.
A person who falsely or mistakenly claims to be a scientist. A person who presents information to be scientific that is not. Okay? Very important, because as I start tearing down these walls and presenting you with some of these things they call science and some of these people that they call scientists, we're really going to probably start...
See, there's nothing drink-worthy in this, but what he's saying, it's sort of...
stupid.
Yeah, but the words coming out of his mouth, and then he's got that map right behind him. He's talking about pseudoscience, and we can see it. It's right there, right behind him. Again, not a drink moment, but it just...
Well, actually, there is a drink moment.
Oh, what have you got, Tornado?
Because there is one massive amount of projection going on. There is enough projection in this room to fill an IMAX theater and then some.
Sounds good, and there's the Dougie. Oh, Dougie went away.
No, do an Omnimax theater. That's got a curved screen.
All right. And Jen, what would you like to add?
Well, since there seems to be a lack of drink moments, I'd like to suggest that we add a temporary category for the evening of instead of drink. How about place a 45 caliber 1911 to my temple?
Moving on.
Grim, dear.
Indeed. And all right. Here we go. No more hand. Oh, hand. Diane, I'm sorry. What do you got?
I just noticed Doorknob Head's comment says, "Damn it, I know what sesquipedalian means without looking it up. I've been on movie night too long."
Alrighty.
Yes, you have, Doorknob Head. You have indeed.
Okay, first off, just to clarify, everybody's been on movie night too long.
I find it hard to believe that I've been here over a year.
Oh, and
I've been here almost 2.
it's yeah. And to think of how it all started. Anyway.
It shows
It's such a sweet little thing when he started out.
See,
Innocent and decent.
Moving on.
Yes.
But now you can consider it a toddler.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
Making some waves here. So, anyway, let's get to the scientific method, shall we? So let's move on to the scientific method.
Okay. Before we start, did you catch the music that time?
Yeah, I heard
Yeah, freaking Ride of the Valkyries.
In my research, I found 2 trains of thought here. Literally, like one train was riding on the rails, while the other was completely derailed. So one group of scientists insists the scientific method must be used.
Drink one quick thing.
All right, Jared, what do you got?
I remember it now.
Okay.
What he's doing here with the whole thing of talking about the pseudoscientists and now doing this and characterizing one as following the rails and one being off the rails. Poisoning the well.
Ah, that works. And Hill, what have you got to add?
I mean, did he just say in my research?
Yes.
I assume he doesn't mean. I assume this means like his internet research, of course. Like, like even if what he said was true about him being a physicist and some sort of biologist, whatever the hell, even if that's true, like that's not like this would be the philosophy. Like this stuff is like philosophy of science with stuff, which is an entirely separate field.
And the show has just gotten twice as good, by the way, because if you look at Andy's window, there are now 2 doggies. So.
What I said doesn't even matter anymore.
Right.
I mean, like I said, to be fair, the philosophy of science is very interesting. Oh, dog! Dog, puppy!
Squirrel.
But yes, philosophy of science is a very interesting topic, but it's not something that you're gonna really study if you're just doing physics.
Wait, are you talking about doggies or? All right.
He's doing physics.
Oh, all right. Doggie's doing physics. That makes sense. All right. Very good. Additional? Anything additional, Hill?
Doggy.
Okay. let us see what Tornado has to add. Tornado, what would you like to add?
Yeah, when you're sitting there claiming that one train is on the rails and the other train is completely derailed, I wouldn't say that so much as one train is riding the rails, and the other is that burning heap there with people waving flat Earth maps.
It may be the Maui vodka, but I don't even know what 2 trains he's talking about. But I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Diana, what do you got?
Well, to answer your question about which 2 trains you were talking about, Mandelbrot has the answer here. He says 2 trains of thought started out at Chicago and New York.
One of them gets jacked, and
yeah, pretty much.
Which one is going to make it to its destination first?
Alrighty.
Probably the one that's not been train wrecked.
All right, no more hands. Here we go.
Every experiment. I would agree with this statement. Well, the other group of pseudoscientists, whoops, did I say that out loud? Anyway, the other group doesn't think we need a scientific method to test by. Now, folks, does anyone else see this could potentially go very badly?
All right, he just said that a group does not require a scientific method. I'm waiting for some kind of demonstration, citation, some sort of...
Like, he put all this talk into what this, we're going to learn about the scientific method, and then he showed it in some tiny corner of the screen that I can't even see.
I couldn't.
No, I'm looking at the original video and I couldn't pull it out. But all right, Tornado, you want to throw something in here?
I'm sorry. So you're claiming that there's this group that doesn't use the scientific method? Yeah. Now, who might that be? Would that be the people who have studied all these fields for all their lives? Would that be the people who are just crying, fake, CGI, I don't believe you?
Flurf.
Oh, I thought you said floof. I thought there was a bunny on the screen somewhere I was missing.
A bunny.
All right, RJ, what would you like to add?
Yeah, you'll notice that the essence of the scientific method is how it is applied to actual examples. Have we seen any actual examples to show what he means by this so far? I don't seem to have seen any.
No, there were not. Perhaps they are forthcoming. We may.
You're generous, sweetness. You're so generous.
I'm trying to... look, I'm just trying to put a smiley face on it so you folks don't all leave.
Such naivete.
Jared, what do you got?
Well, and again, some have missed it. He's, again, trying to poison the well even further.
Forgets to bring the well.
All right, here we go.
Because without a scientific method, they can just tell you whatever they want and say it as a fact. Wait.
Rank.
What? All right.
Yeah, we're all thinking the exact same thing.
Pretty much.
Here we are.
Very good.
Hey, buddy, don't you think that well has enough poison in it by now?
There you go. Moving on. Here we go.
That's what we're doing now. So is it possible they're not using the scientific method now? And they're lying to us?
They.
Nah, that's crazy.
All right, define the they and just show what you're saying. That's all. You're really not asking for more than that. Just
who am the they?
Yeah, who's the they, and in what way?
Even if them are the they,
who they be? Yes.
Like, why should we, the non-they, care? Like, so what? Like, okay, these people
are they and them the same?
Okay, fine. We've established now that there's some corner of idiots which are not using the scientific method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So what? Okay, cool.
Could we specify who they are and in what way they're...
There's some unspecified they which are doing things.
His they is the scientific consensus which laughs at people like him.
I assumed it was that, but he hasn't really said it yet. And
on that point, I gotta. This has to be said.
Okay.
This always is so. It's so weird that these flat earthers are going on about they're not, these globers, they're not following the scientific method. We quite literally have images of the Earth from space. Like, as far as I'm aware, those images aren't. They're a product of the scientific method, but they themselves aren't any particular method. So are they going to say that those images are pseudoscience because they're not in themselves a method?
Worse still out. They actually claim
technically the flat Earth debate might have had at least some validity in the past, but now we are quite literally in the satellite age, and having this debate now is an affront and an offense to all those who have spent their lives dedicating themselves to the pursuit of science and the institution of human knowledge. It is
Sticks.
tragic.
Indeed. Agreed. And Tornado, you've got the hand up. What would you like to add?
Well, I'd like to add on to Hillel's comment, or rather correct Hillel on a little thing, because they don't just claim that the photos are pseudoscience. They claim outright the photos are fake.
Yes.
And any photo from space is fake automatically without justification and completely because they just want to deny it. It hurts them, and it hurts them in a way that they do not like, so they have to deny it offhand without any sort of justification, and they'll claim the stupidest reasons for that, like, oh, look at that, there's this ice chunk that looks like a bubble, therefore they're in a pool, or these astronauts look like they're moving weird, or even this image cut, this transition makes the whole operation fake.
Yeah.
When that was a transition in a music video on the ISS.
And let us not forget the hair doesn't look right. Yeah, okay. There's your scientific method for you. The hair doesn't look right. All right.
Yeah, so these guys will literally claim that any image is fake for the wildest reason, up to and including, it just doesn't look right to me, which multiple people have used, including insanity is sanity, which is an oxymoron.
Okay. Uh-oh, nudity in the chat. Better fix this. Here we go. Fixed. Okay, and I'm sorry about this, but we have to do more of, well, this.
Crazy talk. So what is the scientific method?
Oh, here it comes.
Let's get into this and break it down, shall we?
We're going to break it down.
Scientific method. First, it's a noun. A method of research in which a problem is identified, relevant data is gathered, a hypothesis is formulated from...
Oh, we got hands. Go ahead, Hill.
He literally had the graphic earlier of like the process, you do this thing, well, if it doesn't work out, go back to the beginning. He literally had that on screen in a corner. He couldn't just fucking show us that. He has to go back through every single one and read off the definition that we can see on screen verbatim. Like, dude, for fuck's sake.
It's called filler.
He had to get over...
It's all just so absurdly condescending. Like, this whole video has the air of something that would be directed towards actual elementary school students. Like, it is so... Ugh.
Gotcha. All right. Oh, Reese, remind me of that. That sounds like a good idea. Contact me by any means you see fit, Twitter, whatever. Because I'm gonna forget.
Also
vodka. I'm sorry, vodka. I'm gonna forget. Jared, what do you got?
Again, so he's going with the definitions, which, one, this definition is not entirely accurate, and look where it's from. Didn't he use an actual named dictionary for one of his references before? Why the change? It's almost like you're trying to find excerpts and manipulate them to fit your own narrative instead of, being an actual honest researcher and going where the actual evidence leads you.
Almost. Yeah, look at that. All
and
right.
By the way, the miscorrection here is the usage of relevant data are gathered. No, you research prior existing experiments related to the topic, then form your hypothesis, and then the data you deal with is the data from your own experimentation.
Okay. And...
Also, drink misspelling.
Oh, what do we got? What did I miss?
Oh, you took my thing.
Do you mean the missing space, or is there an actual? What am I missing here?
Yes, I mean the space formulated.
Is not is formulated a single word?
No, it is not a single word.
I tell you, I'm getting like big word blind here.
Problems with definitions aside, he is quote mining, which we already know, and we're also seeing that he can't even quote mine correctly.
But is that a misspelling or is that a typographical error?
That would be typo.
I think that's worth discussing.
It would be a typographical error, but I'm in a mean mood, so we're going to have a beverage in celebration of that typo.
And what about the grammatical error that followed?
Yeah, English comprehension fail.
Okay.
From these data?
That's kind of a cloudy one.
Technically, that's actually correct.
Yeah,
No, it would be.
Go ahead.
From this data.
No.
Well,
data is actually RG's
No, the usage is correct.
Yeah, I would say. All right.
It just looks weird because nobody uses the correct one.
Oh no. Actually, you might be right. Data is plural. Data is singular.
Data.
Especially on that television series.
Yes, exactly.
However, in the last movie, there were two.
Well, there was B4 and
let's not forget a fistful of datas.
Yeah. So
and now in the upcoming card,
we're not even going to get into that right now, because here's the thing with the usage of that. Here's why I say it should be this, because you are forming a singular hypothesis from a group, from a singular group that you researched. Whereas if it was going to be multiple individual groups of data, then yes, that would be plural. But when you are treating that data as a singular grouping, it would be used in the singular.
So so you're saying it's the sand argument, where sand, which obviously looking at it, it's plural, but it's referred to as this sand because it is a unified. All right, you know what?
And also it follows the consistency of plurality through the sentence.
Okay, I love some pedantry as much as the next guy, but this does seem a little bit more pedantic.
But Hill, what's our
video
yes?
watching.
What is the alternative, Hill? We either talk about this at length.
If half of the screen time is going to be definitions on, I guess he may as well take the time to get it right.
Indeed. All right, and let us see what RJ has to add.
Okay, here. I'm not terribly concerned about how one words your cake recipe. I want to see the effing cake. So when you're talking about the scientific method, I want to see you apply it. Now, I don't want to sound like somebody who wants to rain on his parade all that much, but since he is a flat earther, talking about collecting the relevant data, working out hypothesis, and then empirically testing the data, the hypothesis with the data, don't all the flat earthers fail that so catastrophically that they really should not be permitted to do anything in public at all?
They not only fail to do that catastrophically, they fail so catastrophically that they can't even present a model for what they're proposing.
Yeah, it's true. We came many months ago. We came up with the flat Earth model first, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was much better looking than any of their models.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing regarding the flat Earth issue. Every single time that a flat earther has been asked to provide positive evidence for their model, it's just been negative evidence against the globe model, and said negative evidence doesn't even fucking hold up to scrutiny.
Indeed. And so if that's
it's so piss poor that even a 5-year-old could debunk a flat earther.
Even hamsters can do better.
So we have a super chat for you.
Yes, indeed. I noticed that from Morton. Morton says, Sci-Strike, Drawn-Up Head is getting naked in chat. How do we deal with that? Hell, freedom and all that sort of thing. Drawn-Up Head could die.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah, there you go. And and Tornado, that's the problem with the flat Earth model. I thought the problem with it was it's not.
Exactly. They don't want a model, because the second they have a model, then they have something which can be tested, which will obviously turn out to be wrong.
Yes,
so the longer they don't have a model, the more they can just claim a kind of nebulous, we just kind of don't have stuff figured out yet, but it's flat. We don't have stuff figured out, but it's flat.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't claim that sort of weird kind of pseudo fence sitting kind of thing.
Now there's
also can bring a fence.
There's the other tactic as well of I'm not presenting this as fact. I'm just presenting this as my opinion. but it's a fact that everyone is a liar, and if you believe them, then you are being brainwashed.
Yes, merely stating this is just my opinion and then making a bunch of assertions does not get you off the hook. I agree, Tornado. That is a.
It's a slimy and dishonest tactic by trying to say, "Oh, I'm just presenting this as my opinion," and then just repeatedly making multiple fact claims. You are in fact being a fact claimant, which means you now have the burden of proof.
There we go. Up, Super Chat,
Super
NA,
Chat.
Super Chat, NA, 666. Hey, very good. This is why I'm here.
Moving on.
All right. And Jen, what do you got? Get your hand up.
Oh, never mind.
You could say just wait. Tell you what, when I say that, say just waving high. Just waving high.
I did take the time to look up the source, and this is a correct quote from that source, and IS is a separate word from formulated.
Oh, you got all plugged up.
Alrighty, and
Are we going to get to the scientific method yet, Daddy?
no doubt it's coming. I'm sure it is because it's in the title.
What did you say?
It's in the title. I'm sure it's coming. It has to be. Diana, would you like to add something?
Parsec in the back seat.
Yeah, Jen may have actually obviated my comment. I was going to say that I would hate to give this bonehead the benefit of the doubt, but I was thinking that he copied and pasted this definition of his, so it's formulated, and these data wouldn't be his problem; they would be the source's problem. But if Jen looked it up and found that at the very least is formulated were two separate words, then he did not copy and paste. He typed it by himself. He may or may not have changed these data to this data or whatever the hell it is.
Mhm.
So I may not have anything worthwhile to say on this particular point. And I used a lot of words to say I'm full of shit.
Well, and it's appreciated because the more words you use, the longer exactly the longer the period of time we have before we have to get back to this crap. So thank you.
So have I actually done something good?
Yes, you have.
I've been
Absolutely.
good, Daddy. Oh boy.
Stop that.
Alrighty, and it would appear that RJ has some wisdom to dispense. RJ, what would you like to add?
Yeah, well, it's possible that Dr. Clipboard went to the Kent Hovind School of PowerPoint Text copy, and that would account for all of what we're seeing.
Oh, that is very possible. All right. And Jen, what would you like to add?
Oh God. He does provide some very professional customization of his copying quote from dictionary.com. They, in their display, did not capitalize scientific or method.
Aha. Okay.
And they left, and they had their entire text left justified.
Aha.
Also, the is formulated isn't is 2 words.
It's generally.
That was the first point.
Yeah.
All right, and back to RJ. RJ, what do you got?
Well, one thing I can absolutely guarantee, at least so far based on this video, one thing that he's never going to really capitalize on is the scientific method.
It does seem that way, doesn't it? All right, seeing no more hands, here we go.
This data, and the hypothesis is empirically tested. Okay, and that's from the dictionary.com.
Okay.
Goody.
So there are basically 8 steps to the scientific method, and depending on which definition you use, sometimes it says 7, sometimes 8. It's just people adding more things to the experiment, to the hypothesis, or to the scientific method. Okay, but there's basically so the first thing is you must make an observation.
Oh dear.
Okay, Jen, what do you got?
He just said there are 7 or 8 steps, and then he couldn't spit out the word steps again. He had to say things. It just annoys me.
Okay.
You know what I love even more? I love that he chose the time to say that instead of just showing this graphic where there's 7 or 8 steps.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, and here we go.
Observation and ask a question from that observation. Okay, so I observed something like, for example, if I mix baking soda and vinegar, a reaction happens. So my question might be, for example, The reaction that is caused from mixing baking soda
We had a
and
drink call.
Okay, very good. And here we go.
He was not kidding when he said he learned this in elementary school, because he literally just talked about the baking soda volcano.
Yes. So what's
we're gonna get to tetherball, I tell you.
If your knowledge of the philosophy of science has not increased since elementary
Grade 5?
school, you need to update that shit. Because I gotta break it to you, elementary school is not the peak of scientific inquiry.
Creating tornadoes.
Him it may have been.
Hell, if it was, we could save a lot of time.
Side strike.
Yes.
It is for him.
While we're on the topic of baking soda volcanoes, I did the baking soda volcano experiment back in summer school. You know what else I did back in summer school in that same period? I was rating tornadoes based on a movie, based on their size and how much damage they did in a movie known as Twister. So, I did more science than you, JM Truth.
But did you count the cows to make sure it was the same one? All right.
I wasn't looking at the cows. I was looking at how much the tornadoes ate.
How could you not look at a flying cow?
Yeah, that was a moving experience.
Nicely done. Nicely done indeed. All right.
Easier to do it, RJ.
That sure was quite the move.
Yes.
No pun too cheap, no joke too pathetic for me.
Absolutely. There's one for
You're reading your books.
That's another thing. Remember during a previous from a movie night way long ago, we had just a plethora of puns, and we decided it would be a good idea to start a whole website just for that. And then we forgot about it.
It's been a while since you mentioned that.
And then we forgot about it. I just recently got the renewal for the domain name. Do we want punbay.com?
Yes.
We do? All right.
Let's actually do something with it.
I will pay it. Punbay.com will be a thing. All right. And Jared seems to have the hand up. Jared, what have you got to add?
So this guy is having such a difficult time going through his script. How much you want to bet he actually does have it there on his clipboard?
What do you think that's clipboard there?
And if you're having that much difficulty with it, you are a film editor. Why not just do another take?
I mean, is it just me, or is he actually not read off the clipboard once?
Yeah.
And you're just holding a clipboard for clipboard's sake. Yes, I am a scientist. I have culinary suit and clipboard.
Yeah. And Duranku, ooh, what a twist!
What I missed?
Duranku, I've come to bargain.
Alrighty, Jen, what do you got?
In the chat, Brainery some time ago now asks, is it Dr. Chef Clipboard or Chef Dr. Clipboard?
I think it's Professor Dr. Chef Clipboard.
Okay, good.
Oh, and that's another thing is he claims himself to be more in line of an educator because his master's of science means that he needs to be able to communicate it.
Okay, we got a
super chat.
Yes, it's a perfect one, and I like it from Ken Hoven's cellmate. Jared, would you like to read this one out, Jared?
I believe we are pursuing an untamed orphanoid because without cause.
I remember that one. Alrighty. And nobody's got anything else? Nobody? Alright, here we go. Yes!
Let us move on with the stupid.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, that utterly deplorable plan.
Does it create a gas? And if so, what is that gas? Okay, so that may be a question I'd ask.
Okay.
Then I'm going to do research.
So
So
oh my God!
Look to see if anyone else has done this experiment prior to my.
All right, he's going to go down the list and explain what. Just
fucking. This is excruciating.
Yes, it is really excruciating. This is a sorry excuse for the vertebrates.
If not for the,
it's literally just elementary level because, like, oh yes, I will bring out the slideshow, explain the thing, and then bring out the slideshow and explain the thing, and bring out etc. 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 Like, dude, we can read.
Indeed, and I mean, as much as I like all of you folk and everybody in the public chat, if it weren't for the alcohol, I would have just walked off and left this. Really.
Can I request a skip until the end of when he gets to the last point, because he's not going to make any points. Well, and we can read the list of the method, and he's not going to make a point until after this. So can we just skip it?
Well, here's the thing to remember, Hill. He's making these videos not for people like us who already have a foundation of knowledge and understanding on the topic, but he's making it for other flat earthers. So he does have to dumb it down to an even lower level than what he knows.
I get that, but I'm saying for us right now, we don't need that. So can we skip it?
Well, see, we don't know. He might wedge some wrongness in between any one of these, and we wouldn't want to miss that. We did that before. What was the one where we did a tremendous skip and we missed the whole point of the thing? A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That could be anything.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
If you really want to see whether or not you're going to create a gas, you can actually formulate a model based on the chemical reaction between baking soda and vinegar, which is basically sodium carbonate and acetic acid.
Or you could just eat a bunch of beans.
And what you're probably going to get is some mixture of... No, when it comes to acetic acid and sodium carbonate, you're probably going to get some sort of various mix of gases as the acid and the base neutralize themselves, and as a result, the product of the reaction is carbon dioxide.
There we go. Alrighty.
Well, actually, that's not an acid-base reaction, but that's another story entirely.
Well, acetic acid, which is in vinegar, is, well, an acid, and sodium carbonate is a base. Unless it's bicarbonate.
Actually, what's happening is the hydrogen of the acetic acid is attacking the carbonate, and it's a decarboxylation, which is slightly different than an acid base.
RJ likes that word.
Yeah.
That would mean you get sodium hydroxide, which is basically a small amount of lye alkalining the solution. And, well...
Is anyone going to go colloidal?
Yes, I am trying to
all right.
you all.
All right. Why don't we just say...
Hey, this is a physics class. Take your chemistry out of here.
Yeah, what are we... All right.
Wait, hey, RJ. RJ, this is...
No, Mom. You have to get it right. I tell you it's a good chemistry joke, but all the good ones are gone.
All right. Let's see what RJ's got the hand up. Let's see what RJ has to add.
I was reminded of, to paraphrase Sherlock Holmes, what is elementary, my dear Watson, is that when you remove all aspects of knowledge and inference from the matter, all elements of entertainment or utility, you will have this video.
That's true. All right.
Where's that from?
I just made that one up.
The Book of RJ. Hill, what do you got?
Hey, RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Disestablishmentarianism.
Ooh, but I can up you with anti-disestablishmentarianism, which backwards is Misnerat Nalashva Esiditnia.
Okay.
There goes RJ.
Oh, he practiced that one for a while.
Now, RJ has to go smoke now, so we'll wait.
RJ, that was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Which backwards is not properly Docious Ali Rufus, but should actually be Sesulalopex Kitalagarphalacripus.
Alrighty. And Tornado, do you have anything additional? No, hands down?
Where's my gun?
Here we go. Moving on. And here we go.
Myself. Okay. Then I'm going to form a hypothesis. So my research, for example, might be, I know that baking soda and vinegar react with each other because of an acid and base reaction. Now I know that because other people have done this experiment, right? So baking soda is the bicarbonate, or NaHC03, known as sodium bicarbonate. To be more specific, likewise, vinegar is an acetic acid.
If I dip that clipboard in vinegar and put it in a certain spot, you might notice.
Minor pause. I like all the minor the skips he's having between him. Obviously, he doesn't have these memorized, so he's just probably just reading off the clipboard, like what the exact compound is, just reading off and then just saying it into the camera and like cutting it up in a very choppy way.
Yes, I believe that is the case. And I'm not sure because it went by awful quick, but I thought I heard a substitution of a 0 for an O. Anyway, here we go.
One of the products this reaction creates is carbon dioxide, which is a gas. The equation for this reaction, according to this other research, is HCH3COO plus NaHCO3 equals byproduct, which is CH3COONA. Sodium acetate.
Oh, all right. Jen, what do you got?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say drink? I meant to say C2H5OH.
Okay.
C2H5 what?
OH.
I do like that he has a, what is that? Chathri Kuna.
Okay, I'm also thinking of pronouncing each one of these. We used to do that in high school, by the way. All chemical compounds we tried to pronounce. We thought that was fun for some reason.
Sure, okay, this is nifty, but again, this is all like totally, it's literally elementary. Like, okay, cool. If we're talking about the scientific method, giving examples is nifty, but we don't need to know the finer points of the interaction between baking soda and vinegar.
Yeah, this is not one of the secrets of the universe. I think, who said it before? Diana, didn't you say it? Filler?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that Diana said filler. All right.
Hey, just a question.
Okay.
Would it be possible to test the byproducts of this reaction by, say, pouring the gases generated by the reaction over a candle?
That's a pretty standard method, yeah.
That would do the trick.
That sounds like a thing that could be done.
Indeed. Very good. All right. And let's see, down the list. Jen, was that it? Yep, Mike's muted, I guess so. RJ, what do you got?
At the moment, our Mr. Clipboard is being basically a parasite because he's actually bringing into things into the field that are actually coming about because of the scientific method. Why is it that water is H2O, or should I say water?
Water.
Why carbon
dihydrogen monoxide?
All of those things are in fact the product of centuries of scientific investigation and experiment and scientific method. For him just to simply jump onto it as though it were self-evidently so, when in fact it is a reflection of a scientific process, is that same kind of parasitism that allows him to take some aspects of reality that he decides to take as non-controversial while disparaging others. So, patooey.
All right then.
Got him.
And Shot.
Yeah, there's a minor point added on to that. I suppose it would just be that there's a I see this is an equation with a plus sign and equal sign, and I think we're all quite familiar with how flat earthers usually feel about mathematics. So this is just more example of this is just more examples of the kind of buffet style in which flat earthers in particular love to pick out which bits of science they want to accept and which ones they want to deny.
Okay. Is that buffet style in any kind of reference to the uniform he appears to be wearing, or was that just thrown in?
Yeah. Yes, honestly, pseudoscience is catered.
Sorry, now that you mention it, I totally meant to do that.
Okay, very good. That was clever.
Look at Cajun Crustacean's comment. Can we add like 20 drink calls for JM attempting the chemistry?
Don't kill the panel. All right.
I'm drinking coffee. I'm fine.
All right. And Sean, what have you got to add?
Well, speaking of doing things on purpose or not, did anybody else catch your pun with the, since he's dealing with chemical compounds, it's all elementary?
I know.
All righty. And Jen, what do you got?
He's talking all about this lovely formula and that mixing these two elicits carbon dioxide and water and all that good stuff. This is the guy who did say that carbon dioxide is not a gas.
What?
What?
This is the guy who said carbon dioxide is not a gas.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess it doesn't. I mean, technically, I guess you could freeze it.
It depends. Yes, it depends on where you are.
Not unlike his brain.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Did he actually say carbon dioxide is not a
Actually,
gas?
that was actually Anthony Riley.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Fair,
Was
they may
it?
have both done it.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry. Please, JM, forgive me. I did not mean to misquote you and
When
accuse you of being
that?
stupider than we already think you are.
When was that?
A few
You're
days
right,
ago.
Sean. You're right. I'm
For
sorry.
God's where?
Anthony Riley claims that carbon dioxide isn't a gas.
It is not a
Yes.
gas; it's a chemical compound.
Yep.
Where was this?
Oh, okay.
What?
That
Wait,
was on
what-
that was on Jose's one of Jose's live streams.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
apparently he also had a very, I recall actually interestingly, I just reminded of this, that he made some sort of claim about that the what was it, that the lunar eclipse has something to do with a woman's menstrual cycle.
That was JM.
Yeah, that was no. I know that was Riley. I have it. I have a link to that.
No, then they both said it. And by the way, sorry, Pig's trying to get back in.
He should be able
obviously
to.
know what to do about that.
Let him suffer.
We are unlocked, and I'm not seeing him. I was actually wondering where he went.
Now,
All right, then.
Sean.
All right,
when
watch
you
it,
say
Palpatine.
Anthony Riley says
Yep, yep, covered. RJ, what do you got?
Now, I'm getting this impression here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that people who can believe the Earth is flat have a tendency to believe other weirdly stupid things too.
You think?
That does, it does seem to be the case.
It's just an impression that I'm getting from the fact that I've had to take out my ball peen hammer 3 times already and hit myself from the stuff that's.
I think something that can be noted in this is that flat Earth is a gateway drug.
Yes, a gateway stupid.
Exactly, in the sense that if you believe the Earth is flat, you, as a consequence of that, have to believe a lot of other nonsense. Because if you don't, then that means the Earth can't be
Or
flat.
dare I say, they are tortukins.
Yeah, that's.
Is
oh,
it
well.
the gateway or is it the result?
Yes, it's
Well, see, that's an interesting thing because a lot of flat Earth beliefs are consequential in the sense that the belief, for example, that moonlight is cold. Well, they have to say that because otherwise light is hitting the moon, in which case it should be able to hit the Earth. In which case, why can't we see the sun? Like, why do we have nighttime at all? A lot of these beliefs are consequences. Like, if this, it has to be that way. Otherwise, like, things on a flat Earth would make less sense than the no sense they already do. But so in some sense, people come to flat Earth through other nonsense, but flat Earth itself carries with it a whole lot of baggage for other nonsense you have to take along with it, because otherwise it contradicts itself without even having to refer to how it contradicts reality.
Well, it contradicts itself in every turn.
Yeah, that is true. They do leave in the contradictions. I've noticed every explanation is ad hoc, made up on the spot. For what about this phenomenon? Oh, well, that's yeah. And let us not forget electromagnetic tracks. What keeps the sun and the moon moving in a circle? Things don't like moving in a circle; they like moving in a straight line. Electromagnetic tracks was pulled out of one of their asses, and that's the solution.
Perspective.
Yes. All right.
Our eyeballs are curved, which is why we see the Earth as round.
Makes sense to me.
Although that is the reason why Cinerama looked the way it did.
Gesundheit.
All right, moving on.
Flat Earth is really just an amateur's attempt at unlimited energy, because the more they produce, the more bullshit there is to burn.
Yeah.
True. Okay. There we go.
As yet untapped natural resource. Flat Earth bullshit.
All righty.
He's trying so hard.
Here we go. Moving on.
Con, please contain yourself.
Plus carbon dioxide, CO2, plus H2O, which is water.
Yes.
That's the reaction from that.
What's your point?
Of those two chemicals together. So
he has a
after I
point.
do the research, I'm going to come up with a hypothesis. My hypothesis is, I'm pretty sure it creates a gas because bubbles are created. And I know from other experiments that when bubbles are created, that means it's off-gassing gas.
Okay.
So then
drink.
Oh, go ahead, Jared.
The purpose of the hypothesis at this step is not to predict what will happen, but why. Why is it producing bubbles? Why is it transforming to a gas? What mechanism do you believe is taking place?
I mean, even worse than that, it's just that his hypothesis is basically just
The continued
my results will be his hypothesis is just my results will be consistent with what other people have gotten. Like, congratulations, that's probably going to be true. Like, if you don't change anything about your experiment, you're probably going to get similar results.
Cajun crustacean, as opposed to off-gassing solids. All right, moving on.
come up with an experiment.
Oop, did I miss something? What?
I'm just very glad that you took what I said to heart.
Indeed. Moving on. Oh, Pig's back.
Case in point.
I'm sorry, were you speaking? Here we go. Stuff.
The experiment would be to add baking soda and vinegar together, put the baking soda probably in a balloon so I can dump it and control it. And then also the off gas can be captured in the balloon. I can take that and test that gas and find out that that's carbon dioxide or whatever it is.
Or go make a laser.
Whatever it is.
Okay. However, then I need to plan the experiment. When I plan the experiment, one thing that is designed to change in the setup of the experiment, the things that I can change. Now we call this an independent variable. Experiments cannot be experiments without an independent variable. That's why some of these.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yes.
Not every experiment has to have an independent variable that can be directly manipulated. Time, for instance, isn't something you can directly manipulate. You can indirectly manipulate it by changing the length of time that an experiment goes on for, but you can't directly manipulate it by, say, making it go faster or slower or setting a certain thing or whatnot.
Okay, can't you? I mean, a little. Things in orbit versus things on the surface of the planet.
By changing the duration of the experiment, you are directly affecting the time.
Alrighty.
Or if the experiment itself is time dependent, well, then you just choose when to do it. Like, not even just the duration of the experiment itself, but exactly when you begin it and when you end it, as in relation to like the rest of the universe, could also have some sort of impact if it's something dealing with, say, astronomy, for example.
Would a perfect example of that be daytime, nighttime?
Oh, stop that! All right.
Sexy.
I had just about gotten that scrubbed from my brain, and there it is back again.
Hey, Sean.
All
Nighttime.
right.
Nighttime.
All right. Jen, what do you got?
An experiment can have many different independent variables, but to try to set the experiment up so that there's only one independent variable, the rest would be controlled variables. And you control them so that they do not variable and do not get manipulated within the experiment, thereby screwing up the results.
Yeah, not to mention the fact there's always going to be a certain amount of confounding variables. There's stuff you don't know about that could be influencing your results in some way or another, which is the point of having some degree of controls.
We don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's all the variables that you know. There's all the variables you know you've accounted for. There's all the variables you know you haven't accounted for, and then there's the infinite amount of variables that you don't know about.
And Jen, I am severely disappointed you didn't start out by saying that you had the chocolate cake.
Alrighty.
I don't have any chocolate cake. I have cherry ice cream.
Ooh.
As long as it's not pineapple pizza, we're good.
Yeah, really.
I like.
Jumped out of like he was made of chocolate cake.
All right. RJ, what do you got?
At the risk of my dwindling sanity here,
yes.
Out of this 14-minute video, how far are we into it?
Oh, we're not doing bad at all. Yes, that's another lie. We're at 9 minutes and 18 seconds.
Oh, okay. So in the next 5 minutes, he will actually illustrate how any of this scientific method does not mean that this idiot is not an idiot.
Yes.
Doubtful.
Well, okay. the speed with which he is plowing through these 8, I predict.
Exactly.
I predict.
Rest my case.
He's
going to get to.
Well, at least he invested in a lapel mic.
Clarity is the reward of patience.
And he has to get back to the Benihana in an hour.
All right, here we go.
Science course, some of these topics that they call science, I will demonstrate they're not science.
Okay.
Because they don't have an independent variable, or you can't achieve a
you're
test
jumping the gun,
without,
aren't you? There, you still haven't gotten to number 8.
Extraordinary means, like a time machine, for example. Okay. So, also then, part 5 is you must perform the experiment. The experiment must be repeatable. So, I must be able to do the experiment and then.
So you mentioned earlier, unless you have a time machine. And we were just talking about how time can be used as a variable.
Okay.
So, what was he watching us from the past?
Might have been.
Wait, did he have a time machine?
Yeah. Does he have the time machine?
That would
Pretty
suck.
sure he does.
Yeah, it could very well be. All right.
Moving on.
And no, Jared's got something to add. What do you got, Jared?
So this is where I would love to smack him upside the head with the bullshit flag, because notice what he said there. I have to be able to repeat it.
Exactly.
No.
I thought you might pick up on that.
It's just, it has to be repeatable. Certain experiments require a certain level of competency in setting up the experiment to begin with.
Yeah.
Just because you lack that competency doesn't mean that the experiment is not repeatable.
What it means for a test to be repeatable is that anyone in principle, if they have both the equipment and the know-how, can repeat it. It doesn't mean that any particular Joe Schmo off the street needs to be able to repeat it. That's not what it means to be repeatable. It means that you can repeat it, not that literally anybody can just off the cuff.
Indeed. And I
don't have a hadron collider in my backyard.
So, would I be correct in assuming, Jared, that you think this guy is being intellectually dishonest?
You think?
Outright. It's not just intellectual. It's outright.
You're on
I mean, he's a movie night. He's a movie night topic. I feel like that's a prerequisite.
Pretty much. It's got to be built in there somewhere. All right, we have a super chat from NA. NA for 666. Nice. Too much of JM gives me diarrhea. Uh-oh, we're having a bad effect on NA. That's unfortunate. All right, RJ, what have you got to add?
My mind's all a dither at the concept of somebody complaining about the guy with the Hadron Collider in his backyard next door. Hey, we're trying to keep it down over there. Anyway,
Must find bosons.
Our little fellow has slipped a couple cogs because, for example, when we are observing that there is no ice ball, when we are observing the curvature of the Earth, we don't need to actually move to the experiment of making an Earth with a different diameter to do that. We are observing things on the actual Earth. So in skipping that data field thing, I'm afraid he does not play by the rules that he is reading so diligently off of somebody else's cue card.
Yeah, this is something I actually go over with flat earthers very often. Is like I use the example of, like, for example, what is the color of the wall in front of you? And obviously, when you get an answer about it, it's like, okay, sure. Now, what's your independent variable for that experiment? Like it's not
even an experiment.
Exactly, because the act of you observing it is what establishes the fact.
Yeah.
So if you can observe the curvature of the Earth, then that establishes the fact of the curve of the Earth. Saying that we need to then have some sort of independent variable for this experiment of looking at a wall is just complete nonsense.
But they observe flatness.
Yes.
What happens that happens when you stay in your basement.
Hey, what's wrong with my basement?
I'm sure your basement's lovely.
It is. It's very lovely. I can spend many hours here.
Alrighty. Well, seeing no hands.
I really wanted to say the M word here, but I thought I wouldn't because it's you.
You're a good guy. All right, moving on.
Show you how to do it, and you must be able to go then and also repeat that experiment. Okay, that is how we are able to prove things are actually
Oh, there we go. And all right, let's see. Jared, what do you got?
Science in general is not in the business of proving things. Proofs are for math. Evidence is for science. Science goes with the evidence to explain the most likely cause.
There we go. Oh, super chat.
Super chat.
Martin, don't drink jelly juice and watch movie night at the same time. Important safety tip. Thank you for your concern for the well-being of all.
Don't drink jelly juice and do anything at the same time.
Actually, don't drink jelly juice. Yeah, that's probably a good
Don't
plan.
drink jelly juice and drink jelly juice at the same time.
All right. And Hill, what have you got?
Yeah, it's basically what Jared said. Is that it's philosophically impossible for science to prove things, because what it means to prove things is that you have control over all of every single possible confounding variable in the universe. It means that you have literally accounted for every single possible thing which could be affecting your experiment, both the things that you know about and all things, literally the infinite amount of things that you don't know about. You would have to be, in order to do this sort of science with proof things, you basically need to be omnipotent in order to say that, yes, I've accounted for every single possible that variable that even could influence my experiment in the slightest. And if you're omnipotent, I mean, like, why even bother doing the scientific method at that point?
Pretty much. All right.
You already know everything.
All right. Let's see. Diana, what do you got?
Yeah, with Hill's statement in mind, keep in mind that it is possible, and as a matter of fact, the basis of science, to disprove things. That is indeed possible. It doesn't take infinite knowledge to conduct an experiment, say, okay, if I do this, then that will happen. And if I do this and that does not happen, we definitely establish something put out of your result field, possible result field.
Okay.
You narrowed your field.
Yeah. Science will only ever be able to asymptotically.
RJ.
Science will ever.
Oh, RJ's going here.
Yeah. Science can approach truth.
Hey now.
Oh, okay, that's a bit much. You can turn off your mic for that thing. But anyway, science.
I'm fondling my hypotenuse as we speak.
All right.
Where someone put that in the quote section.
that goes in quotes. All right. And
anyway,
go ahead.
Yeah, science can approach truth, and we can say what is definite. We can definitely say what is not true. But in terms of what is saying what is true, we can only asymptotically approach it, but never quite reach it.
All right. And here we go. Closing in on
RJ has a hand.
Oh, RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm just reminded of the Gerund contraction equation, where no matter what speed they go or under what mass, they're always going to be stupidly wrong.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my.
All right.
And by the way, this guy is it's 0.3 gerunds because he's tediously boring.
Quite true. And I don't know if we have enough time even to get through his list. All right, here we go.
Positive or negative within the scientific community. Okay? Then you want to analyze the data.
Yeah.
Form a conclusion. So at this point, you're either going to find that your experiment failed or it succeeded. So if it failed, you need to go back to one of the other topics above and then retest and restructure things and retest to try to get the experiment to work. Okay? And then you need to communicate your results. So after my conclusion, I'm able to communicate my results and then perform that experiment for the public so they can see it and they can go and do the experiment themselves if they so choose. Okay?
Hill, what do you got?
Again, it's
wait a moment. No minors can drink on this show.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Above age drink.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. It would be again. I was reminded that only knows of the scientific method and the scientific process and the philosophy on an elementary school level. So it may be useful to, if you recall doing any of this sort of scientific stuff in elementary school, you would recall that if you were doing this sort of thing, you would never say, and your teacher would never allow you to say that your hypothesis has, once you've conducted a test, your teacher would never allow you to say that your hypothesis has been proven. They would you'd only ever be able to say that your hypothesis is disproven or that your hypothesis is supported. Like, I only want to mention that because we kind of already made the point, but just because I want to appeal to his base knowledge of elementary school science, which he is so fond of.
All right. Well,
I don't think you can get down low enough to appeal to his base knowledge.
I'm a master of limbo.
All right.
Do not challenge me.
It's different from doing the limbo, I hope.
Yes. And Jen, what would you care to add?
As requested, it now says in the chat, I'm fondling my hypotenuse at the moment, RJ 0817 2019, 1:10 a.m. To which Glober Mom replies, I see a t-shirt with that in the future.
All right.
I majored in hypotenuse fondling in college.
We may actually be done with this in a reasonable amount of time. All right. He's done with the list.
No, I hate it when you lie to me.
Yeah, I am sorry. So he's done with the list. Now we're going to get into the the title. All right, here we go.
The topic of his Physics 101.
We're going to learn some physics.
This is also another problem with some of the so-called sciences we have today, where you actually don't have the means to go and test things. For example, we can never go to space. Why? Because we can never launch a rocket. We don't have the technology, unlike NASA, who has the money.
Yeah, okay. Hill, go ahead.
NASA is not the only space agency, and we can go to space there. I mean, granted, I think he is correct to some degree where we can't just pop by Alpha Centauri just because we feel like we're in the mood for a snack in the afternoon. But just because we can't physically go there right now doesn't mean we can't know things about it and can't test ideas.
Well, this is not a new argument, since you personally, Hill, cannot go to you can't step out of your house and go to a planet that is not Earth. I mean, anything you know about it is crap. That's the argument they're making.
Speak for yourself, Si.
All right. Good point. All right. And Jen, what would you like to add?
I hate to do this. Boy, I hate to do this. Oh my God, I hate to do this. Where's my gun? JM, you're wrong. That's not what he said. Okay. He said he cannot go to space.
Yeah.
He didn't say NASA could not go to space.
Right.
So, yeah. Drink times 2.
Okay. That works. All right. Up. Super chat. Let's see. Kyle's disappointed mom. His argument is such a non sequitur. Okay. And
drink. Just hold the drink.
Okay.
I understand that.
So he's claiming that because he cannot go to space now, therefore no one has ever done so.
Well, the data is invalid.
Roll it back like 7 8 seconds.
All right.
Make this whole sentence and listen to the whole sentence.
Okay, we'll do that. Here we go. I think it started about here.
Why? Because we can never launch a rocket. We don't have the technology, unlike NASA, who has the money and the all. So that may or may.
That was it. He's saying we, and it's the.
So you're forgetting about all the amateur rocketeers out there, then, huh?
Well,
I guess this all kind of feeds back to what Jared pointed out earlier. It was like the fact I cannot do it, therefore it's not real science because it's not repeatable.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, and we've encountered that argument numerous times. So, all right, RJ, what do you got?
Now let us translate that into human, and imagine if you had now. Some things cannot be tested. You don't have the ability to do the variable. For example, we cannot actually travel at 50 miles per hour. We cannot actually fly. We cannot stretch a wire across the country and telephone somebody. We cannot build boats that will float. We cannot make pigs that will be turned into bacon. We cannot do any of these things. It's impossible.
Hey, leave my brothers out of this.
What would be the word? Effing incredibly wrong.
Okay.
Incredulous.
Yes, I am incredulous. Nay.
I mean, to be fair, Red's rhetoric has personally tested the pigs into bacon hypothesis.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, those were assassins. Okay, they were trying to kill him. They were jihadists.
Well, he successfully tested it, and he also successfully tested how high a car can jump after it's gotten a ramp boost off radiator bacon.
Hey, I got a question.
Okay.
Is it only me, or does JM look like an extremist?
That's an ad hominem.
I don't know. All right. Not an issue. All right, moving on.
What they're telling us may or may not be real based on the fact that I can't go and perform these experiments.
Drink!
Yeah, that's been answered.
Yeah.
I can't do it, therefore no one can do it, therefore it's not science.
Yeah, and actually, we backed up past this, so yeah, here we go.
Now.
No. Oh, sorry, we got hands. We got hands up. All right, Tornado, what do you want to say?
I didn't get a chance to refute this. Basically, he's sitting there claiming, since I can't do it now, that means it's all fake. Yeah, sorry, buddy, but that's not the way the game is played around here. The way the game is played is that you have to provide evidence for the positive claim that all of space is fake. You have to provide positive evidence, not just, I can't do it now, therefore it's all fake. No, you have to provide evidence of fakery. You have to provide positive evidence. Simply claiming something is the way it is does not work. So where is your positive evidence.
And have you considered the danger of his claim that since he cannot do a certain thing, then it has to be discounted. Since the flat Earth community cannot do a certain thing, go to other planets, go in orbit, go do any of that sort of thing, it needs to be discounted. If that sort of thinking spreads, that's basically the end of human advancement. Because almost 100% of the population cannot do these things individually on their own. You can't walk into your backyard and say, I'm going to the moon today. So that's a danger.
You could if you had a big enough rocket.
I'm gonna.
And you sent your ashes up there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ignore that. All right, very good. Diana, what do you got?
Yeah, at the risk of covering something that's maybe has been said just recently, he's, to my ears, saying that unless every single human alive can do whatever this is, can perform this experiment, can go to the moon, can wipe their ass with a corn cob, whatever, then it cannot be taken to be repeatable. And even when a human is born, an hour from now, that human must be able to do whatever it is that he has doing. So it will never be done because, unfortunately, it's going to be a long time before we run out of humans. So you're basically saying, sir, that we cannot do anything because every single one of us cannot do these things simultaneously? Am I hearing that correctly?
That's pretty much been the argument. That's that I believe that is exactly. You are hearing correctly.
Which is basically bullshit.
You think? All right. And
I think I need a drink at this point.
Did I hear a vibrator?
I don't.
No.
No, you did not. Anyway,
Jen, that was a very suspicious no.
She burned out months ago.
We'll set up a GoFundMe.
Speaking of Jen, you seem to have the hand up. What would you care to add?
Well, going back to your point, the whole flat Earth movement is about halting human progress and dragging it back to the 1500 BC, or at least, if not 2000 BC.
Indeed. Alrighty, RJ.
And I have something to say about Diana's point, but now I forgot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, what did you say? You have something to say, or did you say it?
I said I forgot. Please, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. My apologies. RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, is there not something weirdly ironic of somebody with a Bronze Age mind utilizing all the advancements of modern technology, including the YouTube, that people are able to see globally, purveying a mindset that had that been around since the Bronze Age, we would not have any of that technology because they would never have figured any of that out because they think like him?
I've been saying that for years.
All right. And here's more of this. And no doubt the science is coming. It's not all baking soda. It couldn't
Got
be.
a couple minutes left, don't we?
It could not be all baking soda. It's just not possible.
Scientists and researchers to remove their preconceived notions before beginning one's research. In science, we must follow the evidence and not try to lead it. For example,
But that's anything wrong. But okay.
It's a small point.
Put a for example in there.
All right.
It's
Go ahead, Hill.
the minor point is just like saying, oh yes, scientists need to remove these preconceived notions. If you're doing the method properly, it doesn't really matter what your preconceived notions are, because the whole point of doing the experiment is that you're letting reality tell you what's real, instead of like, that's the whole point of that's the whole point of doing the method in the first place, is that it's a particular epistemology of telling you what's true, or
Yes.
what's nearly true, instead of saying it. So what your preconceived notions are, assuming that those aren't actually skewing the how you're performing the experiment, then they don't and they won't affect the outcome of said experiment, because the whole point is that you're doing it in an objective way, such that reality is telling you how reality works.
Yes, and your preconceived notion may need to change based on the results. Yes, perfectly said.
Yes, I just wish I wasn't interrupted by Sean always hiccuping. Oh, shit.
Now, my beef is he's saying, "Oh, we have to remove your preconceived notions, and
Okay.
you have to do this and that." Hey, buddy, why don't you look in the mirror? Projection much?
Okay.
Would you really want to look in the mirror if that's what you saw as the picture? I mean, be serious.
All right. And Jen, what do you got?
This whole thing for him, though, is just an exercise in glandular exhibitionism.
I don't want to see any more of his glands than I have.
No, they should not. They should not be exhibited in any venue, public or private. Here we go. Moving on.
Oh my.
In the test of the baking soda and vinegar,
Oh,
I
Jesus.
can't just assume that the off gas is carbon dioxide, even though it has been that every time
Why
before
do I
now.
feel
I
that he
must
got
still
an
capture
F
that
at
gas
that
and still test it
Maybe.
in order to prove, yes, it is carbon dioxide, and yes, it is a gas. Okay? This is why, when done properly, the scientific method is the foundation of all sciences. I must be able to
Yes, it
replicate the
is.
test and process to confirm someone else's work. That's the whole point of the
Okay.
scientific method, folks.
Drink.
Okay.
Also,
All right. Heard Tornado near. Go ahead, Tornado.
Yeah, and you know one of the ways we can confirm other people's work?
How's that?
Simple, through observing what they do. Like, say, some of the more recent rocket launches. Specifically, one where Red's Rhetoric managed to capture a video of a rocket exhaust plume going into the sunrise.
Okay.
Proving that since the sun was not shining where he was, yet it was shining up there, that means that something had to be blocking the sun, aka the curvature of the earth. And also, since the pressure, since the exhaust plume was actually expanding as the rocket gained altitude, that means there's a pressure gradient, which means that eventually the pressure doesn't suddenly drop to zero. It slowly goes that way as you increase altitude. It's not a pressurized system existing right next to a vacuum without a container. It's pressure existing right next to less pressure, which exists right next to less pressure as a pressure gradient.
Do I need to start hiccuping?
All right. Jen, what would you like to add?
Again, he brings up his baking soda.
Yes. More baking.
Shut up.
More baking soda.
I wonder at all if he's aware that this can also be a very pleasurable douche formula.
Let's see. All right. And RJ, what would you like to add?
I just want to tell a poor, trusting, sweet, gentle Tornado that you're not expecting this guy to actually base things on actual experiments, are you? Because if he did, since no flat earther has ever confirmed the experiments of any other flat earther, they merely repeat their failed experiments and pretend as though they didn't. That this is it would be a complete denigration of the poor little guy's worldview. He would have to start ripping off his chef's uniform and do like legitimate things like oh gosh, jumping off of a building.
All right. And on that note, let us continue. So the equation for the vinegar baking soda test seems to indicate the off gas may be CO2. I say maybe because I haven't proven this yet, except in the equation. And an equation, folks, doesn't prove anything. Just because I can do the equation math and break the chemical components down right doesn't.
Okay, this is more math isn't reality crap.
Math doesn't prove anything, except it does.
Wait, hold on. What? But the whole point
describes reality.
Literally, the whole point of that particular the whole point of that particular equation, it's that it's descriptive, not prescriptive. That we made up that equation because it accurately describes how the reaction works chemically. That's the whole point. Like, what? Like saying this equation doesn't prove anything. Yeah, we made the equation after considering the chemistry and how it works in reality. Like, do you think they like fucking plucked that? They plucked that equation out of like RJ's ass or something?
I have a lot
RJ?
of my ass, young man. I let you all know.
Alrighty.
I have been let know.
So it would seem.
There's been a lot of large numbered 9s in there.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
well, yeah. Well, I turn them upside down and turn them into sixes. They take up less space that way.
Which
All right.
makes me wonder- this actually does make me wonder whether or not he's willing to put his money where his mouth is and actually do what he's saying he should do, everyone else should do. Because if he's not willing to do so, then that means he's a hypocrite.
Ooh, what are the odds? All right. Jen, what would you like to add?
I have to call for another drink for
Oh, my.
spelling.
Oh, my.
If we slide back to that formula, I just realized that he misspelled byproduct. It's spelled BY product, not BI product.
Well, maybe
And I-
maybe those are like
and I think a
bisexual
hyphen,
product.
and I think a hyphen is due as well.
No, you misunderstand. It's a bisexual product.
Yeah.
No.
All right. All right. RJ, what do you got?
I would just be pointing at he's also making a category mistake because this is not actually a mathematical formula. It's a formula that uses kind of the nomenclature of mathematics to describe a physical relationship. That one element, one compound interacts with another to produce something else. And they just use something that's kind of familiar to people because it's a handy nomenclature from the mathematics, but it's not like 1 + 1 = 2 in a mathematical sense. But I think that probably is another area that our Mr. Clipboard hasn't been all that good at.
You may be right.
Knitting?
All right.
I mean, hold on. To some degree, he is kind of right in the sense that, yeah, just the equation existing doesn't mean anything. But the whole point is that the equation is descriptive. We got it after analyzing the chemistry.
Yeah, it's from experiment. In fact, it would have been centuries for them to figure all of that stuff out so that that made sense. If you were to show that formula to somebody in 1500 and even explain what the hell it was, they would have no idea what all the components were.
That's the whole point of this is that we know it works. Well, we know it's true because it works.
Now, where's the phlogiston?
All right. Moving on.
Pronounced phlogiston. Get it right.
Moving on.
I say maybe because I haven't proven this yet, except in the equation. And an equation, folks, doesn't prove anything.
Right.
Just because I can do the equation math and break the chemical
Already did it.
down.
We backed up.
You need to increment that what the F did I just hear thing. It's only
All
a 2.
right.
That is really way down below what we've been hearing so far.
We gotta get those. We gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, the elementary school number.
All right. This Tornado, we backed up. We've already done this segment. Drop the hand. Here we go.
All right, doesn't mean I put them in the right order. Okay, there are multiple orders you could put.
Hold on, drink
those in.
What now? What now?
It's an equation. I mean, what do you mean the right order? It's like, oh yeah. I mean, A = B, but does B equal A? it's an equality. Sorry, it's a really minor point, but still, I mean, come on, man.
It's a fun point. RJ, what do you got?
I'm suddenly reminded from the scene from the video version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where the doomed beings have tried to make a wheel and it's shaped like a rhombus or something. And then they said, well, what color would you make it?
What do you mean a plumpus?
Alrighty, moving on.
On paper without knowing what the reaction is. So, it simply supports my hypothesis. In order to prove the gas is CO2,
Hold on,
I
pause
will
it, pause it,
also
pause it.
need to find...
We're paused.
Did he say my hypothesis? Like my holy book?
Hypothesis?
I don't know. Didn't really notice.
Okay, did you go back real quick?
God damn it, no! I don't want to go back. I want to go forward to the
Only
end.
terms, it's the closest I'm gonna get to hear him say my holy book.
The thing is that he was so painfully close to being onto something. There's like, yeah, that'll only support your hypothesis. Emphasis on the word support your hypothesis, not prove your hypothesis.
All right. Ooh, hey, Reese is going up. Reese is going off to sleep. Everybody say goodnight, Reese.
Okay,
Good night, Reese. Thanks for joining us.
Pieces.
Don't think about this video ever again.
Really, pretend this never happened. All right.
Actually,
Yes.
I hope you dream about it, Reese.
Here we go. Moving on.
Find a way to capture and test that gas. During my research, I found a testing method for how to test CO2. The best way for testing for carbon dioxide is to bubble it through lime water. A positive test should result in the lime water turning milky color.
Drink.
Lime water turn.
Tornado, what do you got?
There's also another test that you can do to test if it's carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Because if you use that specific reaction, there's no other gas to come out of it than carbon dioxide. So a good way to test for it is to pour the gas on a candle. If the candle goes out, then you know that it cannot be gas that supports combustion, like oxygen. In fact, it has to be something that pushes oxygen out of the environment. And since one of the gases that is heavier than air is carbon dioxide, and the only gas that can be formed in that reaction is carbon dioxide, then there is without a doubt, there is beyond a shadow of a doubt, the gas being formed is carbon dioxide.
I mean, there's a much easier method of just get a carbon dioxide sensor. Like that's a real thing that exists.
I like
Just use a spectrometer or something like that that's designed to measure the contents of, like, you can just directly measure it.
Wow, we live in the future.
That we do.
I mean, granted, the whole point is that obviously any particular measurement is going to have a margin of error, which of course, and not to mention the fact that you're not it's entirely possible that, you know, the machine is broken, or it's not really, or, you know, it's carbon dioxide plus a little bit of extra other stuff that the machine doesn't pick up on. That's the whole point of, you know, not proving things. But yeah, just literally just get a carbon dioxide meter that'll just tell you how much carbon dioxide there is. You can just measure it.
I don't see why not, but all right. Anyway, here we go.
Milky, as the calcium hydroxide, chemical name for lime water, reacts with the carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate, which is actually insoluble in water and thus forms a milky white precipitate. So what is a precipitate?
Why? Why are you giving us more definitions?
We do not need this.
No. As a matter of fact, drink just for that. It doesn't need any talking about. Give it a stupid definitions.
The logic here is truly baffling. It's like, I have this interesting chemical reaction, but how can I find out if the byproduct is the right chemical? I know. I'll run it through another complicated chemical reaction. That'll sure to tell. I'll be sure to know the answer after that.
Well, certainly. That's how all this works. Apparently. All right. Here we go.
Precipitate,
wait, hold on one
in
second.
chemistry, cause a substance to be deposited in solid form from a solution. So it becomes a solid within the...
We're paused.
Sorry, he's calling me.
But, like, God forbid, I just want to add on that, you know, God forbid that this other reaction has some byproduct that he needs to get another test to find out if the byproduct of that is the right thing.
And we'll get another definition.
That has some sort of byproduct.
Yes. All right, RJ, what do you got?
I have now ascertained the true essence of the flurfer. They not only have the ability to waste everybody else's time infinitely, but they have the ability to waste their own time 100% of the time.
So it would seem. And hours. Jeez. All right, here we go.
Solution. Okay, so let's recap.
Yeah.
A scientist is a person engaging in a systematic activity to acquire knowledge that describes and...
We just spent half the video doing over definitions, like, literally not even in this video's time.
Half.
This was not even 10 minutes ago. It's like, you know what, let's literally read off a definition and not expand upon the ideas in any way, except literally reading them off. Okay, now let's recap.
Half, Hill.
I can get the history of the universe in less time.
Half, Hill, we've got 1 minute left. This is... all right.
Oh, gosh.
Here we
And then
go.
are we moving on to Block or Chisholm?
No. It's an hour long. We can't start an hour long one.
We should implement the plan from last week and just run it. We've done all this before. Just run it.
It's a minute. We should be able to get through that. Here we go.
Just run it, please.
Okay. How about?
It's my video.
Yes, Pig. When you have your own show, you can do that.
All right. I now claim this show as my own, so I step aside.
I vote we run it.
Moving on.
What is this, Hong Kong?
Here we go.
Sorry, I'm saying is you're not far from. We can institute a coup anytime we want.
Coup d'etat
wouldn't go over too well. All right, moving on. It's a minute. Come on.
Please run it.
These little minutes, 60
For this
seconds.
the natural
Please,
world.
love of God.
Bring
In a
out a
more
beetle.
restricted sense, a scientist may refer to an individual who uses the scientific method. A person may be an expert in one or more areas of science.
Okay.
And the scientific method. A method of research in which a problem is identified.
Okay, you're right. There's no reason to stop
data
this.
Is gathered. A hypothesis is formulated. From that data, and the hypothesis is then empirically tested. Well, folks, so that's pretty much it.
That's it
for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this science class, Physics 101, the scientist and the scientific method. If you've enjoyed the class, I'd ask you to please click the like button.
Okay, drink. The class? This was a class?
This was a class?
This has no class.
This was Physics 101.
We've
The
now
whole
obtained the definition of like 3 words.
So that's it.
Thank you for coming to my class. That'll be thousands in tuition.
So we have just passed. So I'm assuming since there was none of this that we failed to understand, that we have just passed Physics 101. This can be implemented with students all over the
I passed that when I was 8.
Yeah, all over the plane.
Get out my resume.
All right, Tornado. What would you like to add?
So far, he has presented absolutely worthless crap and absolutely meaningless crap.
Don't forget annoying. Don't forget annoying crap.
Go on and on and on. JM Truth. Take some advice. This is what Arn Ross should tell you to do. Learn what evidence is, and then get some.
Indeed. Well, alrighty. Purple rhymes with orange has got it. I said that we understood everything, and I stand corrected. Not so. We failed to understand why we watched this. All right, Jen, what do you got?
You know, you guys have really done me a disservice with this video.
Uh-oh.
I did not take physics in high school. This was my opportunity to learn physics.
Look at the bright side.
You destroyed it.
No, look at the bright side. You passed.
Thanks a lot.
You passed and blame the teacher. By the way, I find it rather intriguing. The drink count.
Oh, I meant to call drink. I'm sorry.
Illuminati confirmed.
Oh, yeah, caught. All right, here we go. Bink. Done.
Also number Trump's in Florida.
Alrighty. RJ, what would you like to add?
I just wanted to point out in the live chat that Doorknob Head has caught the spirit of Mr. Clipboard, except actually conveying real information. Definition: clam. Various, usually burrowing marine and freshwater bivalve mollusks, chiefly including members of the families Veneridae and Naidae, many of which are edible.
I love a good mollusk.
Definition: moist, slightly wet. Damn.
Moist. Moist.
All right. Anyway, okay. Let us see. RJ?
Oh, I will lower my hand.
Oh,
thus chastised.
All right, and on to the last couple of seconds where we get whatever.
And share it on social media sites. You can also support us on Patreon, Facebook, and Twitter.
Just no.
Thank you for.
Wait. Pig, did I hear? Pig, did you have something to add here?
Just no.
Just no to all of the above.
Basic no.
Here we go.
Visiting jmtruth.com. Till next time, my friend.
No.
See you next time.
I'm not your friend.
Painful, please.
Oh.
Truth.com, so I trust him implicitly.
Yeah. Well, it says it's in the names. Like, we really don't have much of a choice. All right, that was.
Wasn't it?
Yes, it
that
was.
was so painful. I left for a majority of the time just to play video games. In peace.
Indeed. Did you have trouble getting back into the room because it was not locked?
Oh, I assumed it was.
Oh, so you were asking ahead of time. Okay, that makes sense. Good enough. All right. Well, anybody that wants to talk about themselves, what they're doing on or off the net, throw your hand up and we will go down the list and hear how wonderful you actually are. So,
hey, Sai, before you start that, can I send you a message on Discord to verify something? See if I can do it.
By all means.
Plus to verify that the world is not flat.
Yeah, that would work. All right, well, let's start with our friend Tornado. Tornado, please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Hello everyone, my name is Tornado Pelt, also known as the Tornado in a Junkyard, and for a rather surprising record, I have not gone above F0 today, which is rather surprising considering I thought we were going to be doing a lot more stupid. Then again, it wasn't any of the usual crap. It wasn't, oh, this is a hoax, oh, that is a hoax, oh, these people died because they found out about the conspiracy. So I guess that's part of the reason why. another part of the reason why is because he's just so fucking boring. Anyway, some of the things I like to do on and off the internet are playing space games like Kerbal Space Program and StarMade and Starbound, and I think you get the point. I like my space games, and I want more space games. Also, I like to debunk stupid, so that is something I should probably be getting into, such as that one interesting climate science thing, which I really actually do need to get to debunk because, well, I've got an obligation, and I don't want to miss it. So I guess I should start thinking about watching that, getting a script ready, and getting a voice recording ready, along with doing a piss take of spirit science, basically showing me in front of a podium. Because reasons.
Okay. You know, while you're speaking, I don't suppose you want to read out Doorknob Head's last comment, do you?
Oh dear. No.
I didn't think.
Tornado was just a dust devil tonight. No, I was placated with Mountain Dew.
Ah, all right. Actually, it was a previous comment that I was referring to, but I'm sure you knew that. All right. Well, thank you, Tornado. And going down the list, RJ, please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Buy his book.
Yeah,
really.
buy my books. The Evolution Slam Dunk.
Lots of them.
And the Paralogs of Phileas Fogg. I'm currently working on the sequels to both. And Jackson Weed and I, who was in the room but had to disappear because there's a late time zone there and he needs to sleep, is co-authoring with me The Rocks Were There, where we are going to fillet Answers in Genesis with just as much fun that I did the reptile mammal transition matter in Slam Dunk. So there it is. And let me put my website up in there. And we will be wanting Hillel to offer his viewpoint, as well as Lavender Lady, who also has my books. And so you
Yay!
can telling everyone that you know about their quality, up or down.
Alrighty. Well, thank you. And moving down one more. Diana, please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Diana Clary, the Lavender Lady, and I do Lavender Lady things such as Sunday, noon Eastern, I do a little show called Coffee with Lavender in the talk show vein. Imagine me as a two-bit Johnny Carson. Got it. This particular week, I am in the midst of rebuilding and remodeling the electronic Lavender studio. So things are going to be a little less involved than they usually are. But I will have something going on because I saw something in Twitter today that got me thinking, and I will be doing a little program flying solo. Ow, little Sylvia, those are sharp. On perception and what we perceive and whether that perception exists outside of our own heads or remains within our own heads. Just a bit of me bloviating and eating up an hour that way. I hope you guys will
forgive you.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, come on down to the Lavender Lady on YouTube Sunday at noon Eastern, and say hi. And the after shows are usually a bunch of fun. So maybe the after show will be more fun than my actual show this week, and may redeem me. So in the meantime, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.
Alrighty.
And as for me, I've got to go sleep.
All right. Well, good night, Tornado. And Diana, thank you very much.
So I shall be seeing you all next week. See ya.
Good night. All righty. And moving down the list. See, I'm still putting that moo in there, right? We have Jared. Jared, please tell us how cool you are and the multitude of things you do.
You mean the plethora of things that I do, which
yes,
really depends on the mood.
The
so
mood.
I run the two channels, AT2 Productions and AT2 Moto, where we do have a recent writing video out that premiered. Was that Thursday or? Yeah, Thursday. It wasn't this past day. It was the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been kind of busy and exhausting and tiring, so I've lost track of days. On the main channel, we do Veterans Talk Weekly on Friday nights leading into movie night. We also are every other week doing the Star Trek specific topics of Kanar with Damar, which not tomorrow, but next week is the next installment of that.
Excellent.
And yeah, I'll admit I dozed off towards the end there of Jam Truth because he was just so fucking boring.
Well,
and
it was repetition.
Predictable.
You missed nothing. It was repetition.
Yes, absolutely nothing.
I am well aware.
Yeah.
In fact, you got some useful sleep out of that, whereas the rest of us had to actually sit through it.
All right, so there was benefit. All right, so there we can claim there was some benefit to this video.
Yeah.
It got Jared some rest. Okay, I'm good with that. All righty, and let's see down the list. Pig, my friend, tell us how cool you are and what you do. Decently.
No.
Have to. It's in the rules.
No, that's it. That's all I wanted to say was no.
Okay.
But you did so with firmness.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And well, very
Damn
good.
it! I said yes. Now I have to.
Oh, all right.
Well, Pig does prefer it firm.
All right. Look at this.
You said it with fermosity.
I'm telling Pig to be decent, and everybody else is spiraling down the drain. Great. Oh, first everybody say hi to Furball. All right. Yes, back to you, Pig. Sorry to interrupt.
Cutie, hi.
Where's Furball?
In the chat.
He's been in the live chat for a while.
I guess I haven't been looking at the live chat for a while. Well, retroactively, hi, Furball.
You're hiding. Is that what you're doing?
As actually, Furball, this is as a plug for him, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Put out some very interesting work recently. He's been doing some excellent sort of things with the Cavendish experiment.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the best, most controlled versions of it that I've ever seen. And once I get the time, I'm going to be trying to use his data that he's so meticulously put together to try and calculate the universal gravitational constant. So
Now, what if I told you that was all done in an apartment complex?
yeah,
Even more credit.
Right next
got a very
his Van de Graaff generator and his particle accelerator.
oh yeah. Next he'll be building the next CERN in his garage next.
All righty. And Pig, was there anything additional?
No. I couldn't say what I wanted, so
All
I
right.
just said no.
All right. Anyway, and Jen, please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Well, before that, I have a question.
Okay.
Strike, how cool are you and what do you have going?
All right.
He does absolutely nothing. Problem solved. You go ahead, Jen.
All right, yeah, I'll wrap it up and I'll make it quick because the main point is to get to you, Jen. So that Pig was correct. Either next week or the following week, there's going to be a little trip to go see some Creation Museum foolishness.
Yeah.
There's a lot of leftover foolishness that is being assembled. One is the wrap up. I believe we've finally gotten all of our. Well, not finally. It was very kind of everybody to contribute. All the people that were involved with the ARC video, and so we can actually make the final episode and getting everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's coming up. So those are really the big things, and I hope I did that quick enough and didn't take up your time. Jen, back to you.
Well, I just want to make a personal comment to all you guys, but also some of the folks in the chat who have been asking me about what's going on with me. I've been spending an inordinate amount of time in the last couple of weeks at Mayo Clinic. And the good news is they're probably not going to cut off my feet.
Yay.
Okay, that's
rather good.
Yay!
Yay, feet.
And other than that, the rest of the news isn't in yet, but the heart is not as good as it was a year ago. But I'm not on death's doorstep or anything like that.
So what you're saying is we can still excite you.
You certainly can.
Yeah.
And I will excite myself at every opportunity once I get a new, that it's not burned out. So
Giggity.
we'll set up that GoFundMe page soon.
Okay.
And that's it for today.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us once again. And let's see. By the list.
Hey, Si, I got a question for you.
Okay. What do you got?
Did I ever get the okay about the whole, 50-gallon tub of lube, tarps, and mannequin?
You know,
Sorry, as your lawyer, I have to tell you, you're not legally required to answer that.
Can I say I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I'd prefer that you not talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Very good. All right. Let's see. Is there anybody we missed? Pig said his word. Jen,
No.
Jen gave us news. Diana talked about some stuff.
And there is one little thing here that Purple Rhymes with Orange said. It's wrapping up. I'm still sober, and it isn't even 2 a.m. yet. I sat through that and don't even have a good reason to not work on something productive. we're failing here, Si.
We should do another video, Si.
We promise.
Nonsense next.
We promise some longer duration and higher alcohol content videos next week. Fear not.
Oh boy.
This was a good one, but it was condensed. So anyway.
Yeah, if he would have made a cogent point, it would have helped.
Yeah, it was condensed to a series of Wikipedia and one dictionary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But well, at least I didn't expend too much of the expensive stuff on that video.
I mean, to be fair, we could have just went to Wikipedia and hit the random page button and then just read that off and corrected it.
That would have done the trick, wouldn't it?
Hey, I just had an idea for a movie night.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and I guess no, that's okay. How often do I say no? That joke's too dumb. I just had
all
one.
the time.
I just had no. How often do I say
all of your jokes are too dumb? You went from dad jokes to like what's past dad jokes?
See, you're not getting the point, Pig.
Uncle jokes.
The question is
uncle jokes. You're now on an uncle joke side.
The question is, now listen this time. How often do I say no? That joke is too dumb for me to say.
Most of them, but then you regret saying.
But see, Pig, you're still not getting it because I say them. I'm saying in this case there was one.
Normally, you say that after.
All right.
So
anyway.
all I'm telling you, all I'm letting you know is that
I don't know.
Peer pressure alone dictates that you say it.
Yeah, you have to say it now, Si. We want you to say it.
The rest of us would jump off a bridge. So.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. Where's the bridge? I'm in.
We've got a little something going here from Crypto and Doorknob Head, and I'm going to have to take a little bit of, I don't know if I should take issue with this or not. Crypto said, Mannequin and Lube is creating Florida Man. Pig is fun. To which Doorknob Head replied, has anyone ever tried to lube up a cat? Sylvia, come here. I'm going to have a little discussion with you, Doorknob Head.
All right.
On Sylvia's behalf.
All right. All right, Pig and Hill, I will actually comply. Just be. I realize punishment will be merited by this, and we'll just cover it at some other time after the Pug song. We'll handle it then. I was just gonna say how Sean obviously enjoyed this video based on the way the guy drones.
I mean, have you heard his hiccups? He obviously loved it.
That's how you can tell he's been enjoying it.
It's a very professional-looking clipboard.
You guys are intentionally ignoring the extremely bad joke. I appreciate that. All right.
Joke. Oh, wait, you said a joke?
Yes, I did.
Holy shit! I didn't even notice.
So when you said bad joke, you meant it would fly under the radar.
Pretty much. It's one of those sneaky ones.
Stealth humor. It works.
Yes, it's going to hit you in about 4 hours. Your eyes are going to pop open. You're going to laugh yourself silly.
It's a humor torpedo.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, that being the case, we've covered everybody with the hands up. Last calls. Anybody want to say something about what they do, either on or off the internet?
Yes,
I'd just like to ask.
Yes.
Regarding this visit to the Creation Museum, that's the one, not the Ark Encounter?
Right. The Creation Museum is about 45 minutes away from that, and it's, I'm told, equally stupid.
Oh, it is definitely. You're going to be taking stealth videos?
Not stealth. I found that just videoing every damn thing, as long as I keep this doe-eyed, ridiculous expression on my face.
Happy smile on
yes,
your face.
that I'm so impressed that I'm here learning about the secrets.
And is there a prospect that little RJ might be able to help a little with some of the narration and reading of things?
Oh, that would be fun.
Odds are, my friend.
I will also be.
My heart goes pit-a-pat.
Indeed.
RJ, don't think that you get all the fun with this.
Oh no, there were some
here's
a
the
lot of
thing.
other people that are involved, plus the
Yes.
fabulous voice of Sean.
Indeed.
When it's working properly.
Honestly, I would pay good money if instead of it was Sean's regular voice, if he had to do it reading with the hiccups.
With the hiccups.
Sai, when you go to the museum, could you bring back a Sabbath for me? I keep forgetting.
You know what? You just reminded me of what I forgot. I forgot to get a goddamn Cubit stick last time I was there. So now, if
What's a Cuban
You're not going
stick?
to be able to measure a damn thing in cubits then.
absolutely, it's disturbing. Anyway,
Hang on. Sai, do they really have cubit sticks?
yes, in 2 sizes.
Okay.
I mean, this is America we're talking about. They have cubits and they have extra large cubits.
Yes. And if I really wish that little snow globe thing, with the inverted arc on the water, I wish that was stable. I wish that was.
I love snow globes.
Well, no, it wasn't a snow globe. It was one of those ones that looks like something floating on the water. Yeah, and the arc was capsized. It was the Poseidon arc.
That seems appropriate.
Yes, and it could not have been timed better. We had just gone through this silliness, gone into the junk shop, which that's what I was really looking for, the junk shop. And the first thing we come across is this thing with the arc inverted. Anyway.
And the sad thing is, it was the only one that was inverted. It just happened to be the first one he picked up.
Indeed. But anyway.
That's divine providence if I've ever seen it.
And by the way, Sean, have you forgiven me for that trip yet, or are you still a little angry?
I'm still a little butthurt about that one, yeah.
Understand. That was like
You found a parking space easy enough.
Butthurt, what did you guys do?
That is, hey, now. Little
Sean,
decency.
here's the thing. When I went to the Ark with Sai, it was not fun either. I mean, there were interesting people, but it wasn't fun.
No. Well, getting cooked to 107 degrees internal temperature was probably not the best thing. So anyway, all right.
Did you have a meat thermometer to confirm that?
Yes. Did you see it sticking out of the back of his head? That was. All right. On that note, much as I'd love to. No, I wouldn't. I'm going. All right, time to bring on the pug, shall we?
Oh, bring on the pug! Bring on the pug!
Here we go. The pug it shall be.
Alrighty.
You little pug!
And let's just keep talking, then run the credits over us.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Jibber jabber, jibber jabber.
Yeah.
I really feel the flat earthers are getting way too dull in their presentation. So if you're going to present absolute flapdoodle, do it with some panache.
Yeah,
the modern flat Earth debate, almost all the arguments are semantic. Like, that's all it is. Like, what is the definition of this thing? The definition of this thing, therefore, it's linear, it can't be round to something.
Well, and even then, you would expect more of a visual presentation from someone with a degree in...
Jared, I don't know what you're talking about. It was very good. Jared, he both said the definitions and showed us the definitions. It's very visual.
George Mayer just got here and this is over.
Unfortunate, but we can correct one thing.
Or would you quote George?
I will present George with clothes.
All right, that'll work.
If George is an elf, he is now free.
I understand better.
And Hillel and Lavender Lady, I will be expecting you to reveal your impressions of my books as you work your way through them.
Oh, it will be any much the pleasure.
Hey,
He's never going to read it.
Very much the pleasure and very much the time.
Hold on, doing an impression of a book is actually quite hard to do because not many people fold that way.
Yeah, especially me.
All right, Sean, go back to hiccuping in the corner.
You all suck.
Hey,
Never have Never have, never will.
There's jokes there, but not on site yet. that would be just a crossing line.
Oh, I already crossed that line.
Dude, you don't have a line. You have a wall. You just never got able to get the door in.
Listen, okay, that wall is a very strategically placed wall with morals, dignity.
And
On wheels.
Yes,
On
sir.
wheels. No ride.
Why? Just why?
Why do we do this?
Are you questioning what?
Alright, I was saying this is your channel.
Oh, wait, have we finally gotten inside a question? Dislike choices?
Oh yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining.